Hi, Charlie. How are you, my darling? Charlie. Oh my goodness. Normally you don't come on this early. Normally I'm not coming on this early. My usual time is like 9 p.m. How are you, my darling? How are you? So listen up, guys. I just came back from the gym maybe about an hour ago. Like I guess it's not really fair to say that I just came back from the gym because it was about an hour ago. Let me see. Is this thing charging? Hold on one second, guys. It doesn't look like it's taking a charge over here. I heard it, but it doesn't look like it's charging. So I just came back from the gym, guys, and like about an hour ago, I came back and I had a humongous meal. I had salmon and rice and beans and avocado. And before I went to the gym, I packed my body up with my antioxidant smoothie. Hi, one true villain. Kisses and kisses for you, Charlie. Lucas, thank you for joining my stream. And Gary, thank you for joining my stream. So I went to the gym. Before I went to the gym, guys, I packed my body up with like my antioxidant smoothie. So I tell you guys every day I make my matcha latte every single day now. Like religiously, faithfully, I make my matcha lattes because I just love the acquired flavor. Plus matcha is good for you. And then I make my antioxidant smoothie. So I made this antioxidant smoothie. Now, I was gonna stream with you guys earlier on today, but I was on a phone call with a relative and we talked for hours. So that's the reason why this morning I didn't stream with you guys. Because you know how I do my morning routine. I get up, I do the cleaning, and then I go to the kitchen and I stream from the kitchen, cleaning from the kitchen so I could chat with you guys while I'm doing the cleaning. And then we make the smoothies and I tell you what to put in the smoothie. We didn't do that today because I was on the phone. But I still made my smoothie. I packed my body up with the smoothie and oh my god, like I just had an amazing workout, guys. Like I'm working out every day and I'm telling you like this taking this smoothie that I've been taking has been giving me so much energy that I do not feel exerted whatsoever being at the gym. Let's see what Charlie has to say. Oh, Philin, thank you for hosting me. Well, Philin, I appreciate the fact that you were chilling with me for the whole entire day. I'm gonna keep on doing a return because this is what I'm doing now, guys. What I'm doing now is I'm gonna stream with you one night, and then the following night I'm gonna be doing some video editing because I've been working out daily at the gym. I've been doing that for you. Hi, Ron. Thank you so much for joining my stream. I've been literally working out for you guys so that you can see my progress. I mean, I'm doing it for myself, obviously. Yes, I'm doing it for myself, but I'm recording at the gym all of my gym progress. So I have the very first videos from when I first started till now. And if you guys look here, like check it out. Like I am getting results. Like I'm putting in that work. I really am. I'm putting in that work. And y'all know that I just work out with Nick. He's my trainer. So remember how I complained about how my biceps and my triceps were all flabby? They're kind of still flabby. I don't know how we're gonna work out this part of the muscle, but they're not as flabby as they were. I'm getting a flatter stomach. My thighs are fit. My butt is fit. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling energized all the time now. Like I need less sleep now. I'm totally energized all the time now. I'm just feeling great. But I'm going to the gym on a regular basis, and the purpose of me doing it is so I could document it. Y'all know what happened, right? I went and got my hair all chopped off. So I'm restarting the hair and I'm restarting my fitness routine. So I'm documenting that for you. And so in between days, I'll stream one day, do the return the next day. While I'm having a return running, I'm going to be doing all the video editing for all of the gym workouts that I've been doing because you guys know that I'm self-taught, right? I'm teaching myself how to do all these things. What I want to do is I'm going to do like a blur, like anyone else who's in the video that isn't supposed to be, right? Because obviously I'm using a public gym. I'm not using my own gym. I'm going to blur out their faces just to avoid like getting sued or whatever. Because once I'm done putting this collage together of all my videos that I've done so far, I'm gonna put it on the server. I'm gonna put it here on the Twitch server, and I'm also going to put it onto the YouTube server, and maybe even the Facebook server. I'm gonna put it all around for all of you guys, for everyone, so you guys have that content. And then certain content is gonna go onto my premium sites, like my Patreon, for instance, or my other premium sites. So that's the reason why. Yesterday, I ran a return One True Villain because I was working on my logo. So the next project that I'm putting out, the next two things I'm doing, I'm making a video collage of my workout routines from the time that I started doing it. Now I think it's about anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks, and I'm making a video collage of that, and I'm designing a logo because I'm going to start putting out some merch. So I spoke with someone already. I spoke to a few local businesses in the area, and I found a woman who will make my prototypes. And so now I'm in the process of designing my logo. And this is the reason why I've decided that one day I'm going to stream and the next day I'm going to do reruns, just so I can take that time to design these projects that I'm doing. Because let's be honest, guys, you know, when I'm with you, I do not pay attention to anything but you. I don't get anything done when I'm with you, and that's just what it is. And it should be that way. I don't mind it. I love spending my time with all of you. You know that very much. Like, I enjoy my interaction with you very genuinely. I enjoy my interaction with you. So it just is what it is. When I'm streaming with you, I want to focus only on streaming with you. I don't want to have to focus on multitasking, getting work done, and streaming with you. I don't see the point in me doing that. We do this podcast. The point of this podcast is to have our discussions. When we have our discussions, we discuss whatever we're discussing, and sometimes we kick back and we just relax. I tell you all the time, I want my podcast to be a community where you come here and you feel positive. And when you come to see me, I just want you to be kick back and relax and say, oh my God, it's so awesome coming to SSS podcast, because it's just what I need at the end of the day. You know, this is what I want to be for you. And I know for sure, if I'm multitasking, like if I'm focusing maybe on my logo design, for instance, like what I was doing yesterday, I will not interact with you. We already know that I'm really bad at keeping up with the chat box, okay? I'm about to like hire someone to read the chats out loud. Like, that's how horrible I am with the chat box. I actually may just give in. I might give in and pay for the service for Streamlabs, because actually it turns out that Streamlabs has a robot that actually does that for you. It reads your chat box out for you. You guys know I'm terrible with that. I'm terrible of keeping up with the chat boxes, and so it's I'm already like horrible with that. So imagine if I'm trying to multitask, like it just doesn't make any sense to do. So I've decided that instead of multitasking with you guys when we're doing our podcast, we're going to podcast here. We're going to have our discussions. We're going to get into our in-depth discussions, and we're going to stick with it. And then after I'm done with you guys, I'm going to go get my work done and work overnight, take a little nap, get up and work again. And that's how it's going to be until I get things accomplished. Because honestly, like, I've spent so much time just streaming with you guys that I didn't get all the other stuff done. Like, it's been, what, 6 months that we've been streaming together, guys? 6 months we're doing this podcast. And I still hardly know anything about coding. And I'm teaching myself independently. I still hardly know anything about video production, and I'm teaching myself independently. And it's because I spend the most time just streaming. So I decided that as much as I love to stream with you guys, and I really do, like, I can do this all day and not think twice. Like, with a blink of an eye, you guys know that I can stay online with you forever. Like, we've done it. We've had 24-hour podcasts here, but it's not productive because I'm not getting anything else done. Like, I'm not studying, and I'm supposed to study too. It's not just having this podcast, it's studying the skills that I need to be an independent podcaster, right? Uh, Charlie says she wants to have a robot voice. Why is that, Charlie? Anyone could pretend to have one. Hi, KC. Thank you so much for joining my stream. Did you just add me? No, you didn't? Oh, so you've been here before then. Thank you for coming back to my stream. Hi, 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine says, if teachers and parents don't teach them about gender, other kids or the streets will show them. So here's what I'm saying with this 6ix9ine. All right, you guys know that in between my podcasts, right, I do research. And I'm not shy about the YouTubers that I follow. Like, I'm not shy about it at all. I tell you who I follow. I let you guys know who I follow. So I was watching the Ben Shapiro show, and he brought up something that I found very interesting. It's a very interesting topic, okay? And now, on this podcast before, I've said it, and I'm going to say it again, right? Us, the American people, we are blinded by our mainstream media. blinded. We're a bunch of sheep being led to slaughter. Okay? We believe everything that our government tells us. Anything we hear in the news, we believe it and take it as a fact. We don't do our due diligence and figure out something on our own and research and study. We don't do that. We just take what they say verbatim for being fact. And this is nothing new. This has been going on for generations and generations. It's happening to our generations now. And so now what you see in our school system, you're seeing our children being taught about gender identity. Now, this is not something that you and I grew up with. Okay, this is a new thing going on. And it's not just in the news, and it's not only being taught in school, it's portrayed in shows. So, Mr. Ben Shapiro, he had a YouTube episode where he showed clips of a show where a little girl was correcting a doctor about gender identity, explaining to the doctor that one of the patients who is transgendered, right? One of the patients was a transgendered from boy to girl. The child was lecturing the doctor, telling the doctor that the doctor has to treat that transgendered from boy to girl person as a girl and respect his choice to be a girl. And that if he doesn't respect his choice, he's hurting his feelings, so on and so forth. Now, Ben Shapiro made a very valid point. He said, no. All these politics, it doesn't work that way. All these politics don't work that way because genetically, if you're a boy, medically, you have to be treated as a boy. You can't medically be treated as a girl if medically and, genetically you're a boy. And so I thought, well, this would be an interesting discussion to talk about on the podcast today because, these are one of the issues we're facing in our society. We have these shows putting this propaganda in our children's mind. Why in the world is a children's show portraying this to begin with? Okay, this is not something that was portrayed to us growing up as children, being taught about gender identity, being told that, well, even though you have a penis, you could still be a girl inside. It's a little much, okay? I'm not saying it's impossible. I understand that science has proven that there's a very small amount of our population who, even though they're born with the opposite sex, genetically, internally, is the opposite sex, so maybe they're born with a penis, but genetically they are a girl, and vice versa. Those are very small anomalies in the human race. Very small anomalies. It's a very small amount of people who actually have that genetic anomaly. And the majority of us are being taught to feel this way. So, that's what my standpoint is on it. We could, if you guys want to, we could look up the Ben Shapiro video and watch it on the stream if you want to, or we can just go straight into discussing it. It's entirely up to all of you. King, how are you, darling? Thank you for joining my stream. Let's see what 6ix9ine has to say. 6ix9ine says, never hit them, but we have sat down with them and explained why we don't say things like that. Yes, they will hear it outside my walls, but I sound like Cardi B. They should never use them. It hurts feelings, and that's something they have understood. I get what everyone's saying about hurting feelings, but the point that Ben Shapiro made in his YouTube video today, his podcast today, is a very valid point. That you can expect people in the medical field to treat you as if you're a woman medically, if you're actually genetically a boy. Now, for social standards, hey, it's fine. Social standards say you wanna be a woman when you have a penis? Socially, okay. America has come to accept that that's what it is. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But medically and genetically, you're still a boy. And vice versa for a transgendered woman to man. Ben Shapiro made a very valid point. He said there was a woman who defined as a man who ended up dying because when she came into the hospital, she defined herself as a man. And so when they were looking to find out what was wrong with her, they treated her as if she was a man. And in actuality, she was genetically a woman. And it just so happened to turn out that this genetically a woman was pregnant. And because she did not identify as being a female, she identified as being a man and listed it in her documentation, they didn't treat her as being a woman. So it didn't occur to anyone that she could be pregnant. And she ended up dying. She ended up dying. She had one of those pregnancies or something where it's like in the ovary. And well, there you go. So that was the point he made, which I thought was very valid, which is why I wanted to discuss it on the stream today and have this be the discussion on the podcast. Because it is a big issue. I'm seeing little boys and girls confused about their gender identity, and this should not be happening. I do not feel that in school or at a young age they should be teaching children about these kind of things. They shouldn't. This is something for an adult mind to contemplate, not a child's mind to contemplate. And they're teaching these things to our students, to our young children. They're teaching them. They're putting it in their shows. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But then, again, it goes back to what I've told you. In America, there is so much propaganda, and it's not just through the mainstream media news. The propaganda that we're experiencing is in every social media platform that we're watching. It happened to us growing up as kids. I tell you guys all the time that when I was growing up, for some reason, I had a bias. Thank you so much for the love. When I was growing up, I had a bias against people from the Middle East. I didn't know people from the Middle East. But what I knew is that for some reason, I had this bias against them, and I knew no one from the Middle East. And when I got older, I realized that the reason why I had these biases that I've had growing up was because it was taught to me by my mainstream media. It was taught to me in the shows that I watch. It was taught to me in the news that I watch. And this is why I don't watch the news anymore, guys. This is why I do independent study now. This is why I rely on YouTubers and things like that, trusted YouTubers, because relying on the media, you're only giving into their propaganda and their brainwashing. And this is what they're doing with our youth today. Let's see what everyone has to say. Kay, oh, Kay, I'm just gonna call you Kay, okay? Excuse me. I found when you were replaying your workout videos and and pounded the fellow like the fist of an angry god. Well, I have lots more lots more workout videos. I took some more today too, guys. Check it out. Oh yeah. Oh God, look, chest muscles. I can't really flex them, but there's chest muscles here. My boobies got a little bit smaller, you can tell, but they're firmer from working out. My tummy is flatter. Charles says, hey, can I join the Discord later and tell you what I think about the topic? Charles, absolutely 100%. You can join at any point in time you want, darling. You already have followers and subscriber status. Oh, I don't know if you still subscribe, but you definitely have status where you can come into the chat. Charles said, because if I wanted to type it, all of my fingers would die. It's fine, Charles. If you want to do it now, you can totally join the Discord now. Joan says, will you show me some tummy if I give you a compliment? Jones, I want you to say, Dominance, you are the most beautiful woman in the whole entire universe. Charlie says, I actively disagree. Charlie, I know that on this topic, you definitely would disagree. Like, I know your personality well enough. And it's perfectly fine, darling. Also, keep in mind that you are of a different generation. You're of the generation I'm speaking of now, right? My generation, Charlie, we didn't grow up being confused about our gender. That was not a thing. If you had a vagina, you were a girl. And if you had a penis, you were a boy. And these weren't things that we taught to our children. We didn't teach our young children when I was growing up, right? I was a young child. We were not taught as young children that we question our gender. This is a modern ideal that is being pushed onto our current generation. And I'm telling you right now, it's confusing the fuck out of our children. I'm going to tell you this. There's no reason whatsoever why children should be concerned about these kind of things. A boy and a girl should not be concerned with whether or not they're a boy or a girl, or be concerned with whether or not they're straight or gay. That's not something they should be worrying about. Children should be only worrying about sexuality when they're ready to become sexually active. And they shouldn't be ready to do that until they're married, right? But listen, we live in a world where people have premarital sex, right? We know that this is the case. But children at the age of 5 shouldn't be told in their school that you might have a penis and still be a girl, or you might have a vagina and still be a boy. They should not be teaching this in our schools, and it should not be in our children's shows. They should not be worrying about gender identity or sexual attraction until they have an age where those hormones start kicking in and they start feeling like, oh my God, what is this feeling that I'm feeling? That's when they should be taught about these things, not when they're extremely young. Children should only be worrying about educating themselves, studying math, science, art, music, these kind of things that's going to enlighten their mind. They shouldn't be bombarded with these things that's going to cause them confusion. And that's what's going on now in our society. We end up with these children now that feel they're entitled to everything, right? They feel like their parents owe them the fucking world. They don't feel they have to work for anything. They don't feel they have to do chores or anything. They feel that everything that they have has to be provided by their parents because they didn't ask to be born. And they're going around questioning whether or not they're gay or straight. Why are children questioning whether or not they're gay or straight? They don't need to be questioning that because they shouldn't be worrying about who they're going to date and fall in love with when they're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. They shouldn't be worrying about this stuff. I don't think children should even be worrying, like being exposed to these kind of things, maybe until about the age of 16 when they're about to become sexually active. You know, unfortunately, at this age in America, you end up with these teenagers having all this sex and everything like that. But that's when they should be worrying about gender identity. But the way it's being put into the system, remember, a child's mind is developing. When you put things in their social media, and if you put it in their whatever media they're watching, whatever fictional shows that they're watching, when you're putting these things inside them, it's a subliminal message for them. These things, these messages stick inside their brains, okay? You're defining who they become as adults. I do not think that they should be taught these things. This is not how they should be defined as adults. I understand teaching children acceptance, and that's fine. Some people happen to be gay, and that's true. People who are gay are genetically gay. They can't help it. They're born that way. And this is true. But do not teach the stuff in the system that a child who may not be born genetically gay is now confused whether or not they're gay or straight. And that's what's happening now. I don't think children should be taught these things in the school system. And they definitely shouldn't be promoting this stuff on the shows that they're watching. As a matter of fact, from a parent to a parent, okay? And listen, I know that there's so many of you who are single parents, whether you're single dads or single moms. You have to monitor what your children are watching, okay? Don't just put your kid to watch some TV show. You sit down with your kid and you watch what they're watching. Don't just leave them to be babysat by TV or by their cell phone or by their iPad. Watch what they're watching. That's a mistake that we're making as adults in our society. We're making that mistake to let our children watch things that we're not monitoring. And they're being exposed to these things, and we have no idea what they're developing into because we're not the ones influencing them. Our mainstream media is influencing our children. We're not giving them these values. The mainstream media is. The mainstream media is giving these kids values that do not pertain to our values. Hi, Lynx. How are you? Lynx says this is a leftist American objective. They want to ruin your youth. Well, guess what, Lynx? You see this sign? You see what this says? This says the red team. The red team. Okay? Here we're red team, red pill poppers. We're the red team here. At least I am. I don't care whether or not you're on the red team or not, but this is what I represent on my stream. I represent the red team. Take the red pill, guys, and become enlightened. Oh, wait a minute, guys. That just made me think about something. So you guys know, oh God, what is his name? I always forget these people's names. And I watch their streams all of the time. Like, I'm always watching their streams. But it's just like that, I forget their names. All right, so I watch Ben Shapiro, and then there's another dude that I watch, and I can't remember his name right now. But he was saying how in basketball, there was a basketball player who decided that he was not going to wear the Black Lives Matter movement t-shirt. He didn't wear the t-shirt. And when it came time to say the national anthem, he stood up for the national anthem to say the national anthem. And then it turns out that without being promoted, what he did, because he did not get promoted, right? No one promoted this because this is like the anti-Black Lives Matter movement, right? He's going against their movement. His jersey sales like increased by exponential percent. So I can't remember the name of this YouTuber, but he said woke equals broke. dying laughing. So he said, then he said, so he was trying to make a pun, like a opposite of that, and he kind of like screwed up because then he finally says, no woke, no broke. Oh my God, he had me dying laughing. He literally said, no woke, no broke. Well, anyway, the point he made on his stream, right, on his podcast on YouTube, he said, listen, the NBA and basically like all of these like sports networks, they're losing their ratings. They're losing their ratings. So you have all these NBA stars and all these football stars who are kneeling for the anthem, right? They won't get up. They're kneeling for the anthem, but they're losing ratings. And why is that? Because when people come to watch sports, they don't give a fuck about politics. They're not going to your sports channel for politics. If they cared about politics, they would be on my podcast right now. Because this is what we do on this podcast. We discuss politics and political issues and current events. This is what they would do. They would be here. They're not going to watch sports so that they could see you fucking lean on your knee for the national anthem. Ha says absolutely, exactly. So yeah, you're gonna lose your goddamn ratings when you want to put on Black Lives Matter t-shirts and then paint Black Lives Matter on your fucking basketball court. Nobody, listen, they're not coming to your channel for that. If people wanted this, they would come to my channel and see me. They're not going for a sports, channel to be watching politics. They don't want to be there. Sports channels are meant for people to unwind and relax. They're not going there for that. Well, it just is what it is. So he brought up like a really valid point. Guys, and I'm telling you right now, like I was just dying. Oh my Lord. Like I just laughed so hard when he said that. Woke equals broke. No woke, no broke. I'm going to say that all the time now. Woke equals broke. No woke, no broke. Woke equals broke. No woke, no broke. Woke equals broke. No woke, no broke. Oh, Lord. But listen, he was making a very valid point. So they're losing a lot of money now in the NBA and the NFL. They're losing a lot of money with these fucking politics. All of these Black Lives Matter politics. If people really cared, they're just going to come to a stream like this where we discuss these things. They're not going to go there for that. That's not what they're going there for. When they go onto a sports broadcast, they want to see sports. Oh, Lord.
Hi there.
That's what they want to see. They want to see sports. They're not coming here to see you kneel on your knee because you're standing up for Black Lives Matter. They're not coming there for that. If they come into basketball channels, it's because they want to see some damn basketball. And if they come into a football channel, it's because they want to see some damn football. So stop the nonsense, Mr. Millionaire basketball players and Mr. Millionaire football players. Because you pushing this woke agenda. Now you're going broke. Woke equals broke. Go ahead, keep on pushing that woke agenda. Keep on pushing the basketball players and football players. Keep on pushing your agenda. So you could go broke. Then you're going to be like one of us. Then you're going to be like one of the regular people. And then what you going to do then? When you've lost all your millions of dollars because you want to be like promoting this whole like agenda of being woke. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, I thought that would be, hi, doctor. I thought that would be awesome to mention because I just found it really hilarious that that's what he said. Like, it just stuck with me today, guys. I was thinking about it when I was at the gym, like pumping iron. I was thinking about like, I can't wait till I get to the stream so I can say what he said. Woke equals broke. No woke, no broke. I love it. It's just so hilarious. So doctor, we're talking about what I saw on Ben Shapiro's show. And then it was the other like podcaster. I always forget. Tim something. Tim Cast or something. I think it's Tim something. I always watch Tim's show and I always watch Ben Shapiro's show. And I just love the things that they discuss. Plus they also do lots of research. The way I figure it is, I'm going to tell you guys like this, right? I do my independent research. I do. But I like to work smarter, not harder. I like to work smarter, not harder. So I know that Ben Shapiro is a trusted source, and I know Tim Cass is a trusted source. I know that these are trusted sources. So I just watch their podcast or whatever, and I say, okay, let me take some notes. Yeah, this is how I feel about that. Yeah, and then I just discuss it. They already did all the research for me. I don't see why I gotta be doing all the investigating. so, so I watch what I watch with these podcasters that I trust. I go online with the live broadcasts, the people who broadcast live from, on the scene. And then I just take what I get from that and come to my stream with it. All right, let's see, guys. Kay says he is about. Oh, Charlie, you're about to come to Discord? All right, let me know when you're ready, Charlie. Kay says, I'm about 99.9% sure that Dominus is a woman. I am a woman. What do they call it now? This is crazy now, right? We have a terminology. I'm a cisgendered woman. These boobs were naturally grown. This vagina was naturally formed. Everything about me is a natural woman. Like, I literally popped out of my mom's vagina a girl. There's no fake plastic surgery going on or any balls or penises being cut off in order to make my vagina a vagina. It's just a naturally born vagina and naturally grown boobs. Like, it's all natural woman. So does that answer your question, Kay? Joe says Dominus is the most beautiful woman in the entire universe. Aw, Jones, you're so awesome. I recommended to be patient. I'm already there. Okay, Charlie, so if you're there, let me go ahead and join this chat. Guys, Charlie wants to join the chat. She says she wants to share her opinion on the matter. Hold on. Let me go to the server. Oh my God, Nick needs to shut up. I hope y'all can't hear Nick right now, being a douche. Hi, Charlie. Can you hear me in the chat?
Yeah, hi.
Yay! Everyone say hi to Charlie. Hi, Charlie. All right, Charlie's going to share her opinion. Go ahead, darling.
Okay, like I don't even know where to start now, but I guess like I do believe that schools should teach about gender identity, but not like 5-year-olds because like they don't need that obviously. But like I would say like 12, maybe 15, but 12. Because if they won't like learn that from people that know about that, from like doctors and stuff, they will learn that from internet anyways. And internet isn't always the best place to learn stuff, especially for like kids, because they will learn that it's okay to be like an alien, and that's ridiculous.
I kind of understand your standpoint, Charlie. I really do. Because children you're absolutely right, they will find things on the internet. But as parents, as their mentors, their teachers, their coaches, whoever's a mentor in their life, it's up to us to monitor what it is that they're finding on the internet. For instance, if we give a child an iPad, that thing should be parental controlled out. They shouldn't be having access to these bits of information, and you can't 100% protect them from it, but you got to do the best that you can. So it's really up to us as the adults who are their role models to mediate what it is that they get to be exposed to online.
I mean, sure, but you can't control the kid like 24/7. They will find what they want to find. And I know because I'm 19, so I was 12 not that long ago.
That I understand.
But like what I mean is that they need to know that, because like we as Gen Z are like kind of redefining the concept of gender, and they need to know that because now we have exceptionally large amount of people that are detransitioning, and it's dangerous and it's not okay.
What do you mean detransitioning? You mean like they transition from one gender to the next and now they're reversing the transition?
Yeah, because they believed they were transgender, but they weren't. And they like have changes in their bodies that are irreversible, and they will have to live with that choice. So they need to be educated, to know what they are doing, because we have no idea now.
I do understand the standpoint that you're making, Charlie. Like, I do. I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying, the point is that I'm making, right? Like, I grew up in a generation where you were taught, right? If you have a penis, you're a boy. And if you have a vagina, you're a girl. And so my generation didn't really have these issues where people made themselves transgender. We didn't. It
That's
wasn't
not
heard.
true.
Well, no, it's not that. It was a very small population compared to what it is
Yeah,
now.
it was small population with people who were aware of that. But there is a lot of people that are like 80 and are just transitioning now because they just now understand what was going on their whole life.
Yes, you're right. You're right. There are people who probably would have been transgendered if this was acceptable in my generation. In my generation, it just wasn't something that was acceptable. People did it, but it was a very small percentage of people. And now you're finding that many young people are transitioning at a very young age. Like I've seen it. Like I had a friend in New York who let her son transition, and he was like 5 years old, and she let him fully transition into a girl at the age of 5, where he
I mean,
would.
if it was just social transition without like hormone blockers and stuff, I don't really mind that because it's totally reversible, and they can just be like, okay, I don't feel that way anymore, and they just cut his hair and he's fine. But I have an issue with people who are giving kids like, hormones blockers
Yes.
and like hormones from very young age because that's something that is changing their bodies and it will stay that way and it is not okay, and if we had that education it wouldn't be happening so much.
So you feel if they give them the education, it would be less children deciding to make the transition. Less.
Yes, because it is now the way, like some way to rebel also, and every generation has to rebel, and Gen Z is very rebellious, so we will do crazy shit just to be like, fuck you, I will be a boy now, even if they don't actually feel that way. So if they know it's okay and nobody is going to be like shocked by that, they just won't do it because it won't be a way to rebel against anything.
I do understand the point that you're making, and it's a very valid point. And this is why I really enjoy when you come onto my podcast because you're always so logical. When you're explaining your position, you always do it so very well thought out, and you always have a very, 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 very precise explanation for your way of thinking. And you make a valid point. You do. It hasn't convinced me to change my mind about it though. It's because of the generation difference between you and I. Again, I grew up in an older generation where there was no confusion about our gender. It just didn't happen. Like we understood that there were people who were gay. That was an understanding. We understood that there were such thing as gay people. We didn't know then whether or not it was genetic. We know now that it's a genetic thing. We know that there are people now who are just born like that's their sexuality. I'll tell you something. When I was 12 years old, and I think I've said it on the stream before, but when I was 12 years old, I fell in love with my best friend who was a girl. And I was very confused. I was 12 years old. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that I had this warm, tingly feeling inside for this individual. I loved her. I genuinely loved her. And, I also like kind of looked at girls a certain way and I didn't understand. And then I think I was like 14 years old. And then I had like my first kiss with a girl. And then I told my mom that I like girls. And then my mom was like, "You're not going to do that in my house." And I'm like, "Oh boy, like, ooh, I can't be dating girls then. I guess I just better date boys." In my generation, they told you, no, you can't do that. But naturally, I did have a natural attraction to girls, and I couldn't understand that, but I most definitely did. Like my first love was with a girl at 12 years old. I fell in love with a girl. And some scientists say, oh, when you're young or whatever, you could be confused or whatever. Not, we don't really know, right? I From that moment on, I pretty much dated men my whole entire life. Um, but it was a natural feeling, is what I'm saying. I knew at the age of 12 that it was a natural feeling. So I can kind of agree with you when you say that maybe by that age is when we should start making children understand. But again, what's happening now in society though, they're not teaching children at this age. They're teaching them really, really young. And it's not only in school. They're putting this in their shows. Like they're going online. If they watch the news with their parents, they're seeing it in the media, the news media. But if it's not in the news media, they're seeing it in their shows. They're being exposed to this at a very, very young age. My daughter, in particularly, right? She went through a stage where she says, "Mom, I'm a boy." I said, "The fuck, you're not. You are a girl. You're a girl." Because the reason why she said it is because her friends were transgendered from girl to boy. So she hung out with this group of transgendered girl to boy, and now she wants to say, "Oh, I'm a boy too." No, you're not. You have been a girl this whole entire time. You've always been feminine, and you are a girl. We're not going to be doing this transgender thing with you. It's not going to happen. And she's like, "Oh, well, won't you love me if I'm transgender?" I would love you. But I'm not going to allow you to be influenced by your peers. You know, it's one thing if this is the way you always were. It's a whole other thing if this is the way you want to be now, just because you're getting to high school and this is the way they are, you know. Totally different thing. She all of a sudden just decides, "Oh yeah, because my friends are doing it, I'm doing it too." No, you're not. Now, I did entertain her honestly because anytime we went shopping, I bought her boys' clothes and things like that. That's what she wanted to wear. She wanted to start wearing boys' underwear, all this boy stuff. I just did it. I just gave her what she wanted, but I made her understand, you know, this is you got a vagina. You don't have a penis. You have a vagina. That's what it is. Your body is always gonna be a female. You're gonna have a period. You're gonna grow some boobs. Like this is what it's gonna be. You know, I made her understand that biologically, regardless if she sees herself as a boy, she's still a girl. You know, and then
You see, that is not true though. I mean, it is true, obviously, but if a transgender person is transitioning there like for a long time, their body isn't biologically fully like female. If they are transitioning to male, they aren't fully female anymore because there are changes the hormones are making, and you can't say they are fully biologically female because they aren't.
well, I
So
mean, if they're getting hormones, then yes, that's true. You're changing yourself hormonally. You're changing yourself into the opposite sex. This is true. But what about
yeah,
those who don't receive the hormones? If they're not receiving hormones, then 100% biologically, they are the sex that they were born, unless they are one of the few people who actually have the genetic anomaly. And there are people who do have a genetic anomaly where even though they're born with one sex, genetically they're actually the other. For instance, they they might be born what is okay. So the males have the XY, right? The males have the XY chromosome, and the girls have the XX. That's how it works. Or is the XX the male chromosome? I forget which one is which.
I forget.
Yeah, I forget which
Also,
one
I
is
have no
which.
idea.
It's XY or it's XX. Okay, so let's just say that XY is the male chromosome. We'll just say that. So if they're born with XY, they might have a vagina, but still have the XY chromosome, and vice versa. Assuming that we got the chromosomes right. Assuming we have those
Yeah.
chromosomes right. So there are actually people who are born that way. This is true.
Yes,
They're
and
born
we
in
don't
opposite
actually
body.
know how many people, like how big the percentage is, especially in the trans community. We have no idea because we are not testing their chromosomes.
Yes, this is true, and they really should test it. They should
Yeah,
test to see
I
what.
agree.
Yeah, they should. I agree 100% with that because if they did test to find out whether or not these transgender people actually have that genetic anomaly, we would know whether or not this is truly a scientific thing or if this is a mental thing. See, there's a difference because
I mean, it is mental anyway because you need to have gender dysphoria to be transgender. And there are people that say you don't have to, but like, don't listen to them. They are crazy, mental. Let's forget about that. You need gender dysphoria to be transgender, and it is fully mental. Like it's fully in your brain. And the only way to cure gender dysphoria is to transition with your body.
well, this I do understand. I saw it. I'm always watching documentaries. I tell you guys about documentaries all the time. But I saw a documentary about this. And actually, there was a study done in Puerto Rico. You guys know I'm Puerto Rican, but I was born in the United States. So I don't really identify with Puerto Ricans, right? I just consider myself American. But they did a study in Puerto Rico where there's a village that has this genetic anomaly. And for some reason, the majority of their children are born with it. And they don't know why, but the majority of their children are born in the opposite body. So whereas genetically they are the opposite sex, physically they're born with the opposite sex. So if they're born a girl, internally, genetically they're a boy, and if they're born a boy, internally, genetically they are a girl. And it's been proven. Like they actually did a study on this small group of people in Puerto Rico, in this small little like village in Puerto Rico, where the majority of them have this genetic anomaly. They're actually just now only starting to understand this anomaly. We didn't understand this before because America did not accept this, right? America, being predominantly a Christian country, refused to accept that there were people who were born this way. They refuse to accept it. It's only now where America is accepting homosexuality. Again, I told you when I was 12 years old, I fell in love with my best friend. I was madly in love with her. I didn't understand what I was feeling, but I know now that I'm older, what I was feeling was love. And when I told my mom that I loved a girl, and when I brought home a girlfriend, my mother said, "You are not doing that in my, it's not happening." Like she just shut it out. So then I just went with what society told me to do, and I said, "Okay, I'll just date guys then." But I had no interest in, like, I'll be honest with you guys, like growing up, like I really had no interest in being with a penis. It wasn't appealing to me. There was nothing appealing to me about a penis. I just didn't want a penis.
And like you see that like correlation between that, like the generation before you didn't accept gay people,
Mhm.
and you were told you can't do that, and now you have trouble with accepting like trans people, like your generation, and it's just the same. And now you don't mind like if your kid sees like a gay couple, but you do mind if the same kid sees a transgender person.
No, no, I have nothing against transgender people. If you guys know, I'm a kinkster.
Yeah, but you don't want like children to learn about that.
I don't think that is something that they should be learning at a very young age. I think it's something that if they're going to learn, like maybe it should be something that they learn about in college, or just maybe not in college, but not at a young age where they're going to be
I mean,
confused.
yeah, like they should learn about that later, about what that is exactly, but about the existence, they should know from a very young age. That's why I don't mind like transgender characters in like shows for kids or anything. I don't mind that at all because they just know it exists and it's normal.
I just feel though, if you're, when you expose children to these things, right, while their brains are developing, it's not, you are teaching them acceptance of it, yes, but you're also giving them curiosity to it. Whereas if they're not
And
exposed to it, they probably would not be curious.
yeah, but there's nothing wrong with being curious. They aren't gonna just be trans because there was like a gay dog in the show.
I mean, to me, it doesn't matter, guys. I'm an open-minded woman, and I'm very open-minded. And I tell you guys all the time, I'm a kinkster. I tell you stories all the time about my life. Like when I've had kinkster sessions where I dressed up my partner entirely as a woman, and I enjoyed it very much. It was plenty fun for me. I'm a kinkster. I would dress up my partner as a woman, put on some high heel shoes, some sexy clothes, put on some lipstick, comb their hair, do some makeup, and I just enjoyed that playtime. But that's me. I'm a kinkster. I like kinky things like that. Like that's acceptable for me. However, I did this as a grown adult. And I just feel that children should not be exposed to anything when it comes to sexuality at all.
I
We should
mean,
protect them from that.
gender
When they get older.
identity isn't sexual. It's not sexual at all. It has to do with like your biological sex, yes, but it's not sexual. It's in your brain and in your body. And children have to understand their body and have to be like taught about how their brain works. Because now we have like thousands of different identities that aren't real. Like I will be cancelled for saying that, but like non-binary is real, gender fluid isn't real because there's no way brain can switch like that. It's just like biologically impossible. And they are going to get crazier if we don't tell them how does that work, because they don't know how that work. They just think, oh, I feel like that, then it has to be a whole thing and everyone has to accept that. And yes, you have to accept that, but it is not real, and they will think it's real as long as we don't teach them how does that actually work. And they are now more confused than if they were actually like if they actually understood what is going on, because they have no idea, and that's the problem.
You make a very valid point, Charlie. My brain is processing what you just said now. Um, I think I was talking to Nick early on about this, right? And Nick and I cracked a joke, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm one of the 50 genders," and he said it's 52 genders, and I said, "Wait, what? The 52?" Like I was just cracking a joke about it because I just remember like maybe like a year ago it came out in the news that they've identified 50 different genders, but Nick said it was 52 genders, and that lands on what you just said, that there's a difference between it being real and not real. And then, how could they be 52 different genders? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. How are there 52 different genders? You either have a vagina, or you either have a penis, or internally, you're either a male or a female.
You
That's
see,
52
like, but
genders.
there's a difference between like gender and sex because there can be more than just two genders, but there's only two sexes, and like but it's not like the standard, and there can be like something like non-binary, and because there are people that are non-conforming their gender, they are like exploring the non-binary side, and because they don't understand how does that actually work, why they are feeling the way they are feeling, then they are like developing the new ways of calling and new flags, and it's just very confusing for them and for people that aren't feeling that, and that's why there is so much like people against that, because they are like looking at all of them and be like 52 genders, like that is ridiculous, that cannot be real. And it is in a way real because they are feeling like that, but it all should be just very like handled very different, and it's up to grown-ups and teachers to show like young people the way, and they are failing in doing that.
Um, Again, I kind of feel like the only reason why these children are not understanding what's going on is because they're being exposed to it to begin with. They're being
No,
exposed to this whole concept of 52 genders, or, possibly being born into the wrong body. Whereas children
we
growing up in my generation, we weren't exposed to that. So there was never a doubt or question about it. There was never any questioning, am I this gender or that gender? It's something that's children are questioning now because they're exposed to the idea
but
that there could
who
be different genders.
exposed them? We are exposing ourselves because we are developing it, and we
Yes,
will continue doing that if no one will teach us how that works.
that makes a lot of sense actually.
Yeah, I know.
It's our society that creates it. You're absolutely right. It starts off with a small community of people who have a transgendered identity issue going on, and it becomes a publicly known thing, and then it spreads throughout society. So you make a very valid point. They're going to be exposed to it anyway, especially having access to the internet. So even if we don't teach it in the schools, they're going to be exposed to these things anyway. So I do understand the point that you're making now. If we know for sure that they're going to be exposed to it anyway, then we should be teaching them what it is so that they're not confused.
Yeah, and a lot of that is coming from like the way society treats females and males, because people are now not really agreeing to that and they want something else. And it's especially like young girls that think they should just transition into being male to have like different lives because they don't agree with the stereotypical like view of a female, and they want to change that and be someone else. That's why they are non-conforming, that's why they are non-binary, and that's why there is so many people that are now detransitioning, because they understand now they aren't like a trans man, they are a female, and they just didn't agree with the way society saw them.
Wow, you brought up a topic that it just never occurred to me. It never occurred to me that there's actually people who has made the transition simply because of the way they're viewed in society, and they don't want to have the stigmatism of being a woman. I mean, as a woman, I know it sucks being a woman sometimes, and as a man, I'm pretty sure it has its negatives, right? For both, it's neither one or the other is 100% consent. I used to say all the time, the Lord cursed me with a vagina, like I was cursed being born as a woman. I used to say that all the time before I understood the power of being a woman. You know, I used to think that way too, that boys have it easy, boys have it all. And now I understand that it's actually it's separate but kind of equal in its own way. Men being a man has its positive and negatives, and being a woman has its positive and negatives. But I get what you're saying, that there's some people who maybe who transgendered from a woman to a male, doing so because of the way society treats a woman. Like that's understandable, because sometimes it really does suck being a woman in society. Sometimes it's true, but um, wow, like it just that just never occurred to me that there's people out there who do it for that purpose. Like I always just assume that if they made themselves transgendered, is because they truly, honestly felt that they were the
I
opposite
mean,
sex.
I don't say they didn't truly honestly felt that way. They might have like felt like the power that is like stereotypically more like for men, and they just felt like the way that they are isn't female enough, and then they might have had like body dysmorphia, not dysphoria but dysmorphia, and like didn't like the way their body looked, so they were like, okay, I don't like this about myself. I feel different. I am not this stereotypical like a girl, and I feel like I am a man. So I should transgender. And there is a very easy way to transgender in America, especially like in Poland, not so much. I don't know about the rest of the world, but in America it's very easy. So they just went, got hormones, and now I'm a boy. Look at me. But if they were taught that what they feel isn't being trans, but it's not agreeing to the stereotypical views of society, and they just had body dysmorphia or just didn't like how they looked, they wouldn't do that to themselves.
Very interesting. Very interesting standpoint that you just made here. See, I think the issue
Yeah,
is though, like there's just so many people now, so many people who have this gender identity issue going on, that and we don't actually know enough about it. That what they have to do in this situation, they have to take every single person and do a psychological evaluation on them and do a genetic testing on them to see whether or not they fall within that genetic anomaly,
I mean,
because
you
we have
don't
to
have to have
understand.
that anomaly to be transgender either. You just have to have dysphoria. And if you have dysphoria, it's not genetic, it's in your brain. And it's fully understandable. If you can't cure your brain feeling like it's the opposite gender, then you adjust the body to match the gender in your brain. And that's what body dysphoria is.
So dysphoria is a mental condition, whereas the genetic anomaly is simply genetics.
Yeah.
So what causes the dysphoria? Is the
Well,
dysphoria in so much of go
I don't
ahead.
think we know that. At least I don't know that. And transgender people don't know that. So we don't know that. But we know that it is very much not fake. And it's very much real that if you feel that way, you don't have to have the genetics of other gender, I mean, of other sex to like be that. And you have to change your body to stop feeling like that. And if you don't, there is a lot of trans people who didn't have the opportunity to transgender that are taking their own lives. That's why we have to like care about them enough to make it like easy for them, but also care about the other part of society that isn't transgender and is hurting themselves but thinking they are, and educate them on what does that mean for them and for society.
You make a very, very, very valid point. And my brain is going to be contemplating this now. Very much so. Okay, so then the question comes into play then. At what point in time should we then actually give this kind of education? At what point in time does a boy and a girl really start understanding their sexuality? Is it at the age of 10? At the age of 12? At the age of 16? I think for every person it's individual, right? Like maybe somebody might at the age of 8 start going through hormonal changes. Maybe they don't do it till they're 18. So when do we find a proper point to educate them about these issues? Or maybe we should make them aware that these things exist, but not really necessarily push the agenda. Just make it so that if a person feels that they fall into that category, can have some kind of counseling for it or something. There's got to be like a
Yeah,
middle ground because I understand what you're saying that there are in fact people out there who do have these gender identity issues. Again, you said people commit suicide because of it because they didn't get to transition. So I do understand that we want to protect that, those, that particular group of people, but we need to look at numbers overall as a whole. Who is being the most affected? Is it more effective to teach everyone, or is it more effective just to teach people who may show a tendency? What do you think about that?
I like, in my opinion, that's why like the trans characters in kids shows aren't bad, because they are teaching the kids that it is okay. If you feel that way, it is okay. You have to tell your parent or something, and they will help you, because they then know that they aren't alone in the way they are feeling at a young age. For the people that are individually like feeling that earlier, and we should start teaching that, I would say, about like 12-year olds, because their brain is developed enough to understand the concept of gender. And if we do that later, it may be too late for some people. So if we just tell kids it's okay, then teach them at 12, they will have a bigger chance of being a happy person, in my opinion.
That actually does make a lot of sense. I'm thinking about myself when I was 12 years old. When I was 12 years old, that's when I fell in love with my best friend at the age of 12. I was 12 years old. I'll never forget this. I fell in love with my best friend.
Yeah, I was 12 when I found out I was gay too. That was the age I was like, okay, like this is how I work, this is what I feel, and okay, fine. And I was looking up like how does that work like with brains in kids that age, and this is the age kids are generally interested in these topics. So this is the age I think we should just tell them what's up.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to around that age. Like I remember anything before that, I was playing with Barbie dolls. I was playing with Barbie dolls, and then I remember hitting 12, and then I had a best friend, and just I don't know, just one day, I just got this tingly feeling in my gut when I was with her, and then like my heart I don't know, I just remember having this, the emotion was just so overwhelming and overpowering. I just always wanted to be with her. Like I thought about her all the time. I kind of like daydreamed about her all the time. I always wanted to be with her. Like, when I had sleepovers with her and we slept in the bed, I would cuddle with her. We took showers together. Like I just really was in love with her at the
Oh,
age of
that's
12.
cute.
Yeah. I really was though. I was so in love. But I didn't understand, I didn't understand what I was feeling. It was very confusing, very, very confusing. And I mean, later on, I did have like some relationships with women, but um, the majority of my relationships were with males. And
Yeah, and wouldn't it be so much easier if you like had a show that had a gay character in that when you were growing up?
well, I
Wouldn't it
did.
be like,
I had a,
really?
yeah, my aunt was entirely gay, and she was like my favorite aunt. And I remember one time, so I spoke with her and I said, Titi, I think when I get older, I'm gonna be a bisexual person. And she sat with me and she explained. She said, my darling, let me explain something to you. Okay, there's no such thing as bisexuality. You are either born.
Well,
This is what she told me. You're either born straight or you're either born gay. And I was very confused because when I tell my mommy, I said, "Hey, mommy, like I'm in love with this girl," and then she says, "Oh, no, no, you can't be in love with a girl. You can only be in love with a boy." I was very confused. So I'm thinking to myself, "Well, I do feel in love with her, but my mom is telling me I have to be in love with boys, so maybe I could just be in love with both." And I just remember having these like very confused feelings around that age, around the age of 12, 13, 14. And I think by the time I was like 15, it was kind of set in my mind that I'll just kind of stick with dating boys, but I never really did though. Like I did a lot of experimenting in high school and in college with dating women before I kind of just like decided I'm just gonna do what society is telling me to do and just kind of stay with a man. I was never very promiscuous, by the way. Like I tell people that, and they kind of don't believe it. I never really was, but I guess that's a part of it too. Like I'm very finicky about sleeping with a man because I feel like this is my body. My body's a temple, and they have a penis, and they're gonna put it inside my vagina. And to me, that's kind of gross, unless I'm in a committed relationship with them. So I was never one to really be extremely promiscuous. Because I guess I was very confused about it. I myself, as a child, was confused about my sexuality. I was very confused about my sexuality for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. Now, I don't know where I would stand now. Like, as of now, like, I haven't really dated women in a long time, honestly. It's really just been me dating men. And I think when it comes to dating women, the reason why I don't is because I'm really shy about it and insecure about it. Like I don't have the the courage to ever approach a woman. And then I also find like at my age too, I kind of feel like I know that I'm attracted to women who are younger than me too, and I don't feel that's right either. Like I'm just like I shouldn't be attracted to a younger woman. I should only be attracted to women my age. But then
No, why?
I don't know. I just feel like it's wrong. Like if I'm attracted to someone who's younger than me, I just feel like it's
I mean,
wrong.
as long as they are like the age of consent, it's okay.
I don't agree with that because I don't even agree with the age of consent. Like the age of
What
consent,
is what is the age of consent in America?
16.
Oh, it's 15 in Poland. I mean, okay, then I mean like 21 plus. Then it's totally okay.
I don't think anything younger than 25 should be acceptable. I don't think
Well,
anything.
then date
Yeah.
someone at 25. Like,
But even that, I
why
still feel
not?
it's wrong. I'm 38.
I mean, it's a grown person, it's their choice, and they are fully like capable of making that decision. And you are a great person, so I don't see why not.
I'll tell you, when I was 16 years old, I had my very first experience with a girl. Um, she was 26. I was 16 and she was 26 years old.
Oh,
And I met her. This is like when the internet first came out. I met her off of Yahoo Personals. I'll never forget this. Oh, she was so beautiful. So she was a beautiful Hispanic woman, and she was very thick, and she had very beautiful breasts. She was thick. She wasn't like super skinny, but she wasn't like fat. She just had a nice thick body, and she was just so beautiful in the face. This very beautiful Hispanic woman, and it was the first time I ever kissed a girl or like ever touched another girl's body, and I'll never forget that experience. I was 16 and I met her off the internet, and we were both shy about it because she was new to it as well, and we were both new and both a little bit nervous, right? We didn't like go all the way, but we did like do some kissing and some grabbing onto each other's breasts and stuff like that. And I just remember like after that experience with her, feeling entirely exhilarated. Right, because my whole entire since I was 12, my mother's telling me you can't like girls, you can only like boys, and I was confused about it. So then I go and I have this experience with a woman, and it felt so natural to me. It felt so 100% natural to me. To me, being with a guy never really did feel natural. It was always weird to have a penis. Like that was always just weird for me. Like number one, it was like, oh my god, you want me to put my mouth on that? And then number two, oh my god, you want to stick that in my body? Like it was, and then they ejaculate. So it's like all these things about it that was very odd. And I think like over time I became more comfortable with it. But I think that's one of the reasons why that when I'm with a man, which I've been for a very long time, I'm 100% loyal and faithful. Like I will not stray. Like I have no interest in just having sexual relationships with more than one man. If I'm with a man, he knows for sure that this vagina is only being given to him and will not be given to another man, because I just don't it doesn't appeal to me, like this idea of just being screwed by another person and another person and another person. I feel that if you're committed to someone in that way, that you definitely should be only with each other because you're trusting each other with their bodies. Now, I've never had much experience with women though. I've had experiences. I did have experiences, but it's not on the same level. Like I didn't have like long-term committed relationships with a woman. But I think though, if at a young age, when I came forward to my mother, when I came forward and I said, "Hey, I'm in love with my best friend," and then I brought my first girlfriend home and she shut down. If she would have been more supportive in that situation, I probably would have only dated women.
You
Probably.
see,
Yeah.
to my mind, you should just get a girl and check it out.
Well, I'm already like accustomed though to being with men, so it's kind of weird for me now. Because now
I
I
mean,
enjoy sex. Like I didn't enjoy it before, but now I enjoy it. So now I know that I can enjoy a penis because I've had sex and I've come now and I know my body and I know how to make the penis work for me. So now I'm kind of like I'm 38 years old, but I'm accustomed to being with a penis.
yeah, but why not just check out the second side? Like, there's nothing against that.
I'll be honest with you, Charlie. Like I've had fantasies. I've had plenty fantasies with being with a woman. Like I saw this movie once. Oh, I'm good. What is the name of this movie? Okay, I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was an Asian movie. I don't know if it was Chinese, Asian, or whatever, but it was an Asian movie where it took place like I don't know 1,000 years ago or something. It wasn't like a modern day period movie. Where there was like a queen and she had a servant and her and the
Yes, I
servant.
love that movie. I
Oh
know
my
exactly.
god.
I know everyday movie, so that's okay.
That was her servant. They fell in love with each other. And so they had like this very intense, like sexual scene. And oh my God, like oh God, like because they show like porno and stuff, but to me, I don't get off on porno. I think porno is raunchy. When they have like things like this in a movie where it's very sensual, then I kind of get excited by it. I would never really get excited off of porn, never. It just never gets me off. But I saw this very sensual scene where they did a scissor, and this is the first time I've ever seen that happen. Like I never saw women do something. I didn't know women could do this. So in the movie, they put it.
People don't actually do that. It's just in the movies.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh really? They don't.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that, but it's not gonna work.
I mean, they made it look pretty like damn real. Like they like scissored their legs together and they held each other, and I'm like, whew, that takes a lot of stamina. But I just remember thinking, oh my god, like I want to try that. I just
I
wanna
mean,
do that.
you can try that. It may work for you.
That's what
Who
I was thinking.
knows?
Like, I really want to give that a try. Like, I'm like, wow, like that probably feels really good. And I don't know, like, I am curious about it. I'm going to admit that. I'm totally curious about it, but I don't think I have the courage to follow through. And there's a lot of reasons why. Like, me, I guess, I know men find me attractive, but I'm like, what if a woman doesn't find me attractive? You know what I mean? Like, what if she looks at me and she's like, nah, I don't think your body's perfect enough. So it's kind of like also insecurity involved with it too. Kind of. I don't know. I've thought about it. Like, I've thought about having sexual relationships.
I can I can tell you, I am 100% sure that there is a lot of girls that find you very attractive.
I don't know, like people like talk to me all the time on social media. I get approached all the time on social media by couples. Like couples say, "Hey, we want you to join our couple," and I never understand that. Like that's kind of like, I mean, I guess I can understand it because they're just poly people. Poly people are always looking for someone to join their couple, but I also have a lot of women who do kind of like contact me on social media as
You
well.
see?
But I'm never like confident enough. Hi, Logan. Yeah, I'm never like confident enough though. I'm more confident with a man. Like in my situation, I will be with a man now, right? But again, like when I'm gonna be with a man, I only want to be with that one man. Like I don't want to have like a more than one penis.
I mean,
I
it's
really don't.
understandable.
But I never like had enough experience with a woman to know what it would be like. What if I did like start dating a woman, but I felt like, oh, I wouldn't think to be like a loyal person to be with a woman. Like I don't know. Like I don't know because I never really got to do it.
Then you have the conversation about possibly opening your relationship and then you figure it out from there. Like, it's not a problem.
I don't know. I just remember like I remember like in the workplace. Really, this never went away. Like I was told, my mother told me this was a phase that I was going through. She said that when I get older, I'm not gonna find women attractive at all. That this is just a phase. That's all it is. She said. I think that I like women, but I don't really like women, and eventually I'm just gonna get over it and never like women again. This is what she told me. When I think she told me this when I was like 15 because we had to talk about like sex and stuff when I was like 15. And I had told her like I have no interest in having sex with boys. And she's like, well, why not? My mom basically told me that it's 100% natural to want to have sex with a boy. And I, like in my mind, it's not like I was thinking about like eating a girl's vagina or anything. I wasn't like thinking about that. But maybe like as I got older, I probably would have thought about that. Like I was asked that question too. She says, "Well, do you ever think about eating a vagina?" And I said,
Oh,
"Oh
that's
Lord,
gross.
no." Yeah, that's what I said. I said, "Oh Lord, no, I don't think about doing that." And she goes, "Well, then you can't be gay." And then I said, "Well, why do you have to eat a vagina to like girls though? Why do you have to do that like to like a girl? That doesn't make any sense. To me, I shouldn't be worrying about eating a vagina until I'm like older and I'm going to be sexually active. At a young age when you're thinking about who do you have feelings for, you're not necessarily thinking about sex. And I think that's where parents make the mistake when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like they think, oh well, do you want to have sex with this person? No, then you're not gay or you're not. But I don't think that's the case because I naturally felt love for girls and I naturally felt an attraction for them. And it wasn't just with my best friend. Like I went to Catholic classes, right? I did my communion, my confirmation, and in church school, I had a crush on one of my friends too. So it never stopped. Like the crushing on girls never ever stopped. It actually like continued for the rest of my life. So it's just a part of me. Here on the stream before, like Scott has said, "Oh, you just need to admit that you're just gay." And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, Scott. I date men. But I guess like my natural tendency was always leaning towards women. It's just that again, I grew up in a society where this kind of stuff was not an accepted thing. And I kind of just accepted that I would be with men. And it took me a long time to just come to the conclusion that that's what it's going to be. But where it is now, like if I'm in a relationship with a man, I'm going to love him unconditionally. I always loved my boyfriends unconditionally. It took years. Like I think to the age, I can pinpoint it exactly to the age of 30. The age of 30 is when I finally could use a penis to come. It took me to the age of 30. And I mean that took a lot of like self discovery with my body. Because before that, honestly, like when I thought about like sexual relations with a guy, like it was really gross to me. And I always just thought like, oh my god, the penis is gross because it shoots out like semen and stuff, and I always found that like really disgusting. And then one day, I don't know, like just one day I just decided this isn't so bad. It's not so bad. But it's really weird to me. Like I know like as far as physical attraction goes, I'm definitely like physically attracted to women. I love the sensuality behind them, the petiteness. How when you hug them in your arms, they're just so much softer or like more frail than what a man is. But because I'm so accustomed now to being with men, I still think I kind of need that too. Which is why I think with me being in a poly relationship worked because I was in a poly relationship for 2 years and it was perfect for me because then I had the best of both worlds. But where does that leave me? Am I just like a confused person then? I remember my aunt telling me, I remember her saying, you cannot be a bisexual. It's either gay or straight.
It's not though. You can totally be bi. It's a real thing, and there is like a lot of bi people, so it's totally real. You can be bi, and I can see anything that would say you cannot just walk out now with a fun, beautiful girl and have a relationship.
Charlie, hold that thought. We have a joiner. Who we have here? God. Hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Have you been listening to the things that Charlie and I are discussing?
No, I just got in. I'm sorry.
Oh gosh.
I'm at work right now, so I just seen a beautiful woman that just came to.
Well, at least you're honest. Honesty is the best policy. All right. So today's discussion, we were discussing the topic I had today is whether or not in the school system they should be teaching children about gender identity, right? Because that's being taught in the school system now, and that's being taught like it's in the social media. Like they're just teaching children about this whole gender thing. right? So Charlie and I, we were debating it, and anyone else who wants to debate it is welcome to debate it. Charlie made very, very valid points. And then, as I do in my blogs, on my podcast all the time, I ventured on into my own life experience. So I was explaining how when I was a girl at the age of 12, and Charlie and I mutually agree that 12 years old is the age where they should be educated about their sexual identity, right? At the age of 12, I had fallen in love with my best friend, who was a girl. And when I told my mother how I felt, my mother basically explained that I can't feel like that. Like, I can't have love for a girl. I can only love boys. And then at the age of 15, I had a girlfriend. And then my mother said, oh, no, you can't have a girlfriend. Like, you can't do that. You can't, that can't be allowed. So I basically dated men the majority of my life because I was told it had to be that way. I was told that that's the way it had to be. So, this is basically what the discussion has been so far. I mean, do you have any input that you would like to give on the matter about gender identity issues, or teaching gender identity in the school system, or, having gender identity be taught on mainstream media, like these kind of things?
Um, well, my whole stance on gender identity is I don't I have 4 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl. I feel cause my brother's a homosexual, so my oldest brother. So I feel if at any point, like you said, at the age of 12 through 15, I think your child by then.
Yes.
If your child is different. If your child doesn't fit in well with other children, you'll be able to see them disconnect. I never went through that, but I saw my brother get he was the most popular kid in school, and when he came out when he got out of high school, so he was 17, 18, and he kind of just disconnected from all his old friends, moved to Atlanta,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
they are at.
Yeah.
So a place where he could be comfortable. So I think if my child was going through these type of issues, most kids now suicide is high because they don't know how to cope with not feeling how technically what the world tells them they are. So that's mad confusing, bro. If I put myself in that situation all the time, what about if I'm a black man in America, but I feel like a black woman in America? I would not be able to fathom how that is. So all the stress and stuff that comes along with it, I think that the most important thing that we always remember is just to be compassionate and understanding when dealing with those situations. And I think that it could probably go up under an umbrella of mental health, helping them get the mental health help that they need to make the transition or not make the transition. Because Bruce Jenner, he turned into a woman, and then 3 years later wanted to become a man again. It's we should just make sure that they know, you don't want to start straddling that fence, because then you're just gonna be confused, and everybody around you not gonna know how to help you, because it's just we're all confused now.
That's the point that Charlie made. Charlie said that the reason why she promotes educating children about it is so that they don't make that mistake and
Right.
thinking that they're transgendered when they're really not transgendered. But the point that I was making is, if we don't expose them to it in the first place, then there probably wouldn't be any confusion. That's the
Right.
point that I was making. But go on.
I think I definitely agree, but I also think we just should tread lightly. Because if we put all the kids under that umbrella and they get to they get mixed in with everybody, I think that would kind of probably confuse them too. So it would probably just be mindful of it.
I know that we definitely have a bunch of confused children because I had that issue with my own children. My daughter identifies as being gay, which I have no problem with. I actually encouraged it. When my daughter came out gay, I was like, yes. Okay, I know that's so terrible, but that was my reaction when she told me it was gay. Yes, this is what I was thinking, because I didn't like the idea of my daughter having any penis in her vagina. That was the most devastating thought to me in the world. So I never wanted her to be sexual with a boy. I totally accepted her gayness, 100%. But then she tried to impose that gayness on my son, and I wasn't okay with that. I wasn't. She started telling my son, probably when he's 5 years old, she's telling my son, baby, you could be gay and that's perfectly fine. And I'm like, do not teach my son about sexuality, okay? He doesn't need to be worrying about this nonsense at this age, But I don't know. It's a possibility that I have a gay son. It's very possible. He has been showing gay tendencies for a very, very long time. But you don't know. We won't know until they get to that sexual age. You know what I mean? And he's still young enough where he's not at that sexual age. I think. I would love my children regardless. I really would. But I just feel like I don't know. There's just so much going on in society now where children are just growing up so confused now, and where's the innocence anymore? Like the innocence is gone when they're worrying about all this nonsense. Where's that innocence that a child is supposed to have? They shouldn't care. Like this is not something they should be worrying about. They really shouldn't be worrying about if they're a boy or if they're a girl, if they got a vagina, if they got a penis, if they like boys, if they like girls. This is not something they should be worrying about. Maybe around the age of 12, like Charlie and I both agree, because that's probably like that's the age that I remember having a first love, you know. I think that's probably the age where we just naturally, you know, things changing in the body. Like you start to get a period, you're growing breasts, like you start getting the urges, like those urges that make you feel sexual, like a lot of things change in your body at that age. So I think I can kind of agree that maybe at the age of 12, it's a decent age to educate children about these kind of topics. But the children should not be exposed to it anytime before that. And the problem is that we can't control whether or not they're being exposed to it. Well, we could if we literally mediate what they get to see on TV, but most of us don't. Most of us are working parents that don't even know what the hell their kids are watching. And you know, I'll be honest with you, I was one of those parents. I didn't know what my kids were watching. I remember one time when I took my son's iPad and I saw that he was looking at porno. Oh my God, my heart just stopped in my chest. So I said, how did you come across this? So I look inside his history and I see lots and lots of porno. It turned out that the guy that I was with at that time, and you guys know I always go back to telling you stories about this Haitian dude that I was with for 6 years, he was using my son's iPad to watch porn so he could masturbate. And he didn't think to clear the fucking history. So he would take my son's iPad, watch a bunch of porn with his iPad all day, hand the iPad right back to my son, and not give a fuck that my son could be exposed to that nonsense. So at a very young age, my poor little innocent child was exposed to pornography. And not just any regular pornography, okay? Because this Haitian dude likes some crazy shit. Like he was watching all kinds of crazy pornography on there, like bestiality and things like that. He was watching some pornography with this like very like hippo woman. Like, you know, one of those like really obese people that they're so obese that it's just like when they lay down, it's nothing but like obesity. And this like skinny African guy climbing her, like literally climbing her in order to like penetrate her vagina. It was like disgusting shit that my poor little boy was exposed to because this idiot fucking Haitian decided to use his damn iPad for masturbating. Oh my lord. My lord. Oh lord. You could try so hard to protect your kids, but you can never 100% protect them. You could never 100%. Does anyone want to join the box? Are you still there, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm here.
So I thought the person who came to the box would come back, but he didn't. Does anyone else want to join the box? God, thank you so much for the favorite. And Abba, ooh, how you say that? Abba? We'll just say Abba. Thank you for joining my stream. But yes, like this, you can't really 100% control. You can try, but you really can't. Like I think now, if I were to have another child, how could I protect my child from this world? Hi, Corey. Corey, how are you, darling? Let me hit the take button. Corey, look at my check it out, check out those muscles. Today when I was at the gym, I was doing bench pressing. Oh yeah, I was doing that bench press. I was like, I did bench presses. I did all kinds of arm exercises that are meant for like the bicep and the tricep in the back. Yep, I put in that work today.
You're looking great.
Thank you, Corey. How was your day today?
It was productive. You know, get ready to go to work in like another hour or so, but I got a lot of stuff done during the day, so it felt good. So yeah, did some grocery shopping, had a blast. Yep, we're at the start of my day, literally.
I was gonna stream earlier on today, but I was on the phone for like hours, and that's why I ended up not streaming this morning. But you know, I did my normal routine. I got up, I did cleaning in the house, I did some laundry. Then I was gonna start my stream in the kitchen when I got my phone call, and that was the end of that. But I did make my matcha latte. My God, I'm so addicted to these matcha lattes, and I made my berry smoothie. Well, I call it the antioxidant smoothie. So remember how the last time I made the smoothie, I drank it really slow, and you're like, you're drinking that smoothie really slow. Then the next day it was a little bit better. Well, I perfected this recipe. Now this thing is like, it's just going down so smooth. I'm like, oh my God, this is the most amazing smoothie in the world. And then after I'm done having that smoothie, oh my God, Corey, my heart is just like beating and beating and beating. But I do it every single day right before I'm gonna hit that gym, and I'm like doing all this exercise, and I'm just like, yeah, yep. And they're just adding more weight, and I'm just like pushing out this weight because I have all this energy from these smoothies. Like I feel kind of like I don't even feel sore. That's the crazy part. I'm not feeling sore. Look at the results. Obviously, my muscles have to be tearing apart if they're starting to form muscles, you know. But I'm not feeling the soreness at all. I'm attributing it to that smoothie. I'm telling you guys, this antioxidant smoothie that I've been drinking, it is doing the trick. I've lost some weight, I'm getting firmer, and I'm feeling great all the time. Super energized all the time. Like all the time. I'm never feeling tired. After I'm done streaming with you guys, I stay up for hours still. But it's only because now I'm working on my logo and everything now. That's the next thing I'm doing now. Working on a logo because I'm hoping that by Friday I have my logo and everything submitted to a woman that is going to make my merch. She's gonna make the first prototypes of the merch that I'm gonna start making. I got some merch coming out, guys. Get ready for it. I'm gonna be making hats, t-shirts, and face masks.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let me know when you get that through, man. I definitely show you some love and some support for real.
Yep, I'm making merch just for my followers, my loyal followers. We're the red team here. Well, most of us are on the red team. I don't know what your loyalty's like, Corey. I know you love me, but you may not be part of the red team. Oh no. Where's Trump? He should have been here by now. Trump should have been here right now. Yesterday, you missed the Corey. Oh my God, yesterday Nick was here, and then what did Trump say? Trump said something about QAnon, because you guys know I love the QAnon theories, right? So he said something about QAnon, and I was like, yeah, I'm all for QAnon. And Nick was like, oh, QAnon is a cult. That's the first time I ever saw Trump get frustrated. And then also Jamal came on. Jamal came on the stream. Jamal was losing his damn mind, Corey. He was losing. I'm like, Jamal, you on drugs? And he's like, no, I'm not on drugs. You on drugs? I'm like, no, I'm not on drugs. And he's like, well, you be acting like you on drugs. And I'm like, well, that's how you be acting. That's why I'm telling you, are you on drugs? Corey, Jamal was just losing his mind on stream. He said something about, oh my God, he said something about gay people. And I'm like, oh, Jamal, like you can't say that on a stream. Like that's politically incorrect. You can't say those kind of things. And he said, just like you say, right is right and wrong is wrong. And I'm saying it's wrong. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to let you battle me anymore if you're going to keep on saying this crazy shit. Then Jamal says that he doesn't want to talk to me anymore, that he's going to block me. He's gonna block me. He said the vibes in our group is too gay. Our group is too gay for his liking, and he can't stand the things that we talk about, and that we talk about the same shit all the time. He was losing his mind, Corey. Losing his mind. So now I told him several times, to tone down with what he was saying. And then he started getting a little bit disrespectful, and I was just like, nope. Now you're getting me upset. You don't speak to me that way. And then I told him, I was like, you know what? You want to block me? Do whatever you want. You don't have to come watch me stream. Jamal was losing his mind. Oh my God. But guess what? Jamal did not block me. He's so full of crap. He didn't block me. Jamal said he's going to block me. He said he's not coming back to my stream anymore. He's not going to talk to me anymore. Then Jamal said he doesn't smoke weed. He smokes some other thing that's like weed, but it's not weed. And I'm just like, isn't that worse then? I don't know what he called it. He called it something else. But I'm like, isn't that worse than weed then? Like, at least weed is natural. So no wonder why he'd be crazy.
Alright. Well, substitutes out there now because, until it's made legal, people are going to try anything.
I don't think they should. I think you should just smoke some freaking weed. Just freaking grow some weed in your backyard and just smoke it. Like, are they going to put you in prison for growing one weed plant? Wait, I don't know that. Would they do that? Could a person go to jail for growing one weed plant? That's a good question. We need to find that out. I know that, like, you could grow in Colorado, but that's in Colorado.
If you don't have a license to do it, then yeah, you can't get in some trouble for that. So.
Generous Giant said, get medical marijuana. It's not that easy to get medical marijuana. You gotta have some serious mental issues.
Actually.
No, you think it's easy to get it? Medical marijuana? You gotta have really serious mental issues. As a matter in the state of Georgia, anyway, there's very specific conditions for people before they would prescribe the medical marijuana. I know for sure if you have cancer, they're giving it to you. You smoking it? I'm smoking Mojito by Blink. Mojito? Is that like Yeah, what is that?
Cigar Giant.
It's 25% THC.
Okay, so it's just another form of hemp.
Wait, what? So they're making this mojito stuff?
Yeah, but it's in the marijuana. THC is what is in the marijuana, so.
Yeah, but is that like where they're getting this THC from that they're putting in the stuff? People honestly, like, guys, like, I think if you're smoking anything that's like chemically manufactured, that's gotta fuck up your brain. Like, there's no way in the world if they're making like a chemical version of something that it's gonna be good for you. Like, that's gotta be bad for you. They test batches. Nope. I will not until they make weed legal. I'm not putting any form of THC in my body. The only form of THC that's ever going to go into my body would be marijuana. Okay? No way in the world am I going to put a fake marijuana in my body. No way.
Okay, so now here comes the question then.
Yes.
If they were to make marijuana legal, would you be smoking it today?
Hell yeah, I would. Fuck yeah, if it was legal. If marijuana was legal, I would be smoking me some marijuanas every day. You would see me with my little blunt right now. I'll be chilling. I'll probably be saying some crazy shit, I'll tell you that. You think I'm crazy enough as it is? Imagine me on some marijuanas. I'll probably be puffing my little marijuanas. Really getting into some in-depth discussions on this podcast.
You are marijuana, because see, marijuana does one of two things. It relaxes you, and then it also makes you go into deep thought sometimes. So you on some marijuana in deep thought process would be very entertaining.
I'll tell you guys what, I think it would depend on the marijuana, okay? And I'm talking from experience because when I was in college, I smoked me some marijuanas, all right? Everybody smokes marijuanas in college. Sometimes, if I smoked some marijuanas, I was always just lost in thought. I'd be so lost in thought, I wouldn't even be able to speak because my mind was just processing all these thoughts. And then other times, I was extremely hyper. Like, I would have to just exercise a lot. Like, a lot. Like, more than what I do now, like, super exercise. I mean, I would just be like, I gotta burn this energy. Jumping jacks, push-ups, pull-ups, squats, everything to get myself, like, my heart would just be pumping like crazy. But I just couldn't stop myself. I would just need to exercise. That was one of those things. So it was one or the other, really. Either I really got lost in thought, or I needed to, like, be doing something right then and there. Like, I have to be doing something right now. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, thank you. Have you been part of the discussion that we're having here, or did you just like hop in the window just because you saw me and you just hopped in the window?
I just hopped in.
Okay. So when you guys hop in that way, right? I'm assuming the reason why this happens is because of the nature of how they make this box. But when you guys hop in that way, does it show you the topic of discussion we're having?
Can I say something?
Sure, so long as it's...
I'm just gonna be honest. I said you look really good without makeup.
Oh, thank you so much.
Not too many women can pull that off.
Oh, I've always, I've never been into wearing makeup at all. Like, not even if I go outside to a party or something, like, I won't.
That's natural, so I like that. But go ahead, continue.
I was wondering, when you jump into the box, does it show the topic of discussion? Like when you decided to come and see me, does it show what we're discussing in this stream? Because I have a title for my stream. Does it show that title there or not? Or not?
The only thing I see on your thing, it says turn into the universe. I think that's your name. That's about it. But it doesn't show.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. See, I open the box up so that everyone who chooses to have input, like on the podcast, can give their opinion. But constantly, I find that every time I'm opening this box, there's plenty of people who join the podcast who have no idea what we've discussed this whole entire podcast. So now that explains it to me. I'm going to go ahead and hit the date button so you can come back. Now I understand. That's the reason why there's so much confusion. Because you guys don't like, they're not even giving you like the title of the discussion. Well, anyway, today's title of discussion today, the topic of discussion today, is whether or not we should teach gender identity in the public school system or have gender identity taught through mainstream media, which is occurring now anyway. Whether or not we agree with it, that's the topic of discussion. And we've gotten into a lot. Like, we've talked about that. We've talked about my sexuality growing up, like being confused about whether or not I like girls or boys, like that kind of stuff. What age people go through this kind of confusion, that kind of stuff. So this is pretty much what we've touched on the stream so far. Let's see what everyone has to say. There's no reason it's a Schedule 3 substance. Nobody has ever overdosed on pot. Da-da-da-da. Oh, thank you, Generous Giant. Generous Giant says, I look great in my red swimsuit. And what is your name? What is your name? Ethan? If you want to see my red swimsuit, you have to go to my Twitch channel and join my Twitch channel, Dominus Essence, and you will see my the stream that I have when I was at the beach there, my beautiful red bathing suit. So if you would like to see that, you can go there, Ethan. You know what Twitch is? You know what the Twitch platform is? Have you heard of Twitch?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Ethan, I'm talking to you.
Are you talking to you? No, I don't really do that stuff.
Oh, well, I mean, you can do it on the internet. You could do it on your phone because you could download the app. Or you could just do it online. Twitch.com is the platform. It's a platform where most people game. They do gaming, but I podcast on there. I'm on there right now as I'm there with you guys. And there you'll find a lot of my past podcasts. And some of those are me working out at the gym. And others are me at the beach showing off my beautiful beach body. But most of them are what we're doing right now. Most of them are having these very in-depth political discussions that we have. And on this podcast, Ethan, we discuss politics, we discuss spirituality, we give each other relationship advice. It's a very tight-knit community. We kind of just lay back and chill with each other and kind of joke sometimes. But really, we get into some very in-depth discussions here.
For those broadcasts,
Yes, it's a podcast that I do. This is my podcast.
but you get paid for it.
So I make a little bit of money now where like I get like advertisement. Like I haven't been making ridiculous amounts of money. My Twitch channel pays me about $20. I haven't got paid out because it's not a significant amount of money, but I make about $20 a month just through the platform paying me for having advertisements on my channel. But the majority of the money that I make is through donations from my fans and my premium content services that I offer to my fans for donating. That's predominantly where I'm making an income from. I'm just getting by. Like, I'm not making any substantial amount of money where I'm wealthy or anything, but I'm making enough where I'm afloat. I want to be a little bit more comfortable than what I am now, but this is why now I'm starting to venture out into making merchandise. So hopefully by next week, I'm going to have my first set of prototypes done, which is going to be merch that I'm going to encourage everyone to buy to support the channel. So it's going to be hats, things like that I'm going to be creating. Let's see what Charlie has to say. Ooh, I scrolled up. Charlie says there's no such thing as too gay. Oh, excuse me, does the Ottoman catch the word gay as bad? It does, Charlie. It does. Yep, it does. It looks at that as bad. That's why I had to approve it. I had to approve it. Let's see. She looks great and what's HAWT, Generous Giant? Charlie, you know, now in the political world that we have now, everything is like politically incorrect. You know what I mean? Like everyone has to be crossing their P's and Q's with what it is that they say. Everyone. and that's just what it is. So they, I guess when a word like that pops up, it requests my permission, to grant it. Probably because they want to make sure that no one's like saying anything really bad that's not politically correct. I think that's the reason behind it. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. That's, no, honestly, that's a good thing because someone could just decide to say something that's wrong. They might just, they might say something like, oh, gay people are like, I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad, but they might say something bad. They might say the word gay, but then say something bad preceding it. So it kind of makes sense that they would tell you, hey, like this person used this word. Do you want to add it in your chat? Because what if they did say something offensive? Now, instead of it just popping up in the chat, I get to block it, prevent it. Yeah, I do agree. Besides, the original word for the word gay means happy. It's lost that meaning though. Like it used to just mean happy, and now it just means sexuality. Now it means a sexual preference. Where long ago, the word gay meant happy. When you said the word gay, it just meant happy. That's all it meant. Well, yes, it does mean both, but no one ever uses that word in modern contexts anymore. They don't use it that way anymore. It's only used as your sexual preference. That's what it's used for now. Sexual preference. The real Poppy, thank you so much for joining my stream. Oh, Generous Giant, thank you. I appreciate the fact that you think that I'm hot. When you guys compliment me, it really does make me feel amazing. I really do like appreciate your compliments so much. I do. I do so much. So keep those compliments coming because it makes me feel great. Oh, thank you so much, Generous Giant. He says I'm very, very hot. But he spelled it HAWT hot. That's so cute. I just love it. So, my best friend said he was going to join the podcast, but I'm not seeing him joining the podcast. I wanted him to like say something, and he didn't. My best friend is in New York right now, and I'm waiting for him to give his standpoint on the things that we're discussing. But I don't know. I don't see him here. Where are you, bestie? Charlie says, do you want to know what English word I hate the most? Sure, Charlie. Hi, Chain. Sure, Charlie, share. What is the word in the English word that you hate the most? It's literally Q. Q. It's literally Q. Random letters that you don't even pronounce. But that is the way that the English language works, though. They have many letters and words that are very, very silent. I suppose like a historian that studies languages would understand why. Well, actually, if you sound out those letters together, they actually make that sound. They make the sound Q. For me, this word is kiwi. 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 Q makes the sound Q too. Yes, this is true, Charlie. This is very true. When you like phonetically sound things in English, they're never actually spelled the way that they are phonetically sound. That's just the way that the English language is. You have to like really, really study your phonics and remember the rules of phonics. And I think that's another issue like with our educational system. They teach phonics at a young age. Like they'll teach phonics in elementary school and then they just stop teaching phonics altogether. As if children don't need that reinforcement. You need to reinforce phonics. Even in college, you need to reinforce phonics. Charlie is so cute. Ah. Charlie says that's why she actively dislikes the word Q. You're so adorable, I swear. You're just so cute. I don't know if there's any words that I dislike. Let me think about that. Are there any words that I dislike? I can't think of any words that I dislike. I don't know. Nothing comes to mind right now. Oh, I can think of a word I dislike. I hate the word cunt. That is very insulting. I remember the first time I was called that word, I was fucking livid. I'm like, how dare you call me a cunt? A cunt. Oh my gosh. I'm like, what the hell did you just say to me? You call me a cunt? A cunt? Don't be calling me no cunt. Don't be calling me no cunt. And then the terminology whole, not whore, whole, a whole. That's more of a Caribbean terminology. They're referring to a vagina whole. Calling you a whole, oh my, the first time somebody called me that, I took a breath. I was enraged. Enraged the first time somebody called me that. A whole. One time I had a disagreement with a Jamaican guy, and he called me a pussy clot. And I said, what the fuck did you just call me? I call you pussy clot. Pussy clot. And I'm just like, nope, not with it, not with it. You're not gonna be calling me no pussy clot. Pussy clot? I'm like, what the fuck kind of word is that? Like, I just lost my mind on that dude. Call me pussy clot. You pussy clot. I thought it was one of the most disgusting, vulgar things I've ever heard. Who comes up with that terminology? Pussy clot. You can tell me anything you want, just don't be late to bed. Hi, Mizzo. How are you? Mizzo, did you hit me up on WhatsApp? Because I've been waiting. October says I sound and look like Nelly Furtado. How come you guys just don't think I sound and look like me? Everyone thinks I sound and look like another person. Can I just be me? Can I just sound and look like just me? Charlie says I also dislike the words that are the same but mean different things in different languages. How about the words in the English language, Charlie, that all sound the same but they're spelled differently and have different meanings? How about those weird words in the English language? Because we've got plenty of those. We've got tons and tons and tons and tons and tons more of those weird words that all sound the same but are spelled different and have different meanings. It's like the English language couldn't decide what it wanted to do with itself. Yes, English is definitely a very confusing language. Definitely. Definitely so. Speaking it can be confusing, right? Because there's so many different accents. But really understanding the phonics behind it, breaking down like the phonetic spelling and the phonetic sounding and all that stuff like that takes time to develop and master. And honestly, most of us in America don't even master it really. Most of us in America are like, we don't speak proper English actually. The majority of us do not speak proper English. We're born in America, we're taught how to read and write here, but a great majority of us do not speak English properly. And many of us don't have an extensive vocabulary at all. Charlie says, I already can't pronounce English stuff. Don't make me guess what I'm currently pronouncing. Where Charlie, you sound like you could pronounce English just fine. You were talking to us just fine. You sound just fine. There was nothing wrong with your pronunciation. You sound perfectly fine to me. Let's see, guys. October says, they told me, hold on. No, you can't. I can't look like myself. Ah! Okay, October. October said they told me to look like radio, and I was pissed after all. After that, they told me you look like radio. Who's radio? I don't know who radio is. Sorry. Who's radio? No idea who radio is. Charlie said, nah, I sound like I have a face full of marshmallows. Charlie, I thought your accent was so adorable. And I think that is more just your own insecurity. I loved your accent, and your English was perfectly fine, honestly. Your accent is better than my accent. Most people hear my accent and they be like, can you slow down? Like literally, they're like, can you slow down? Because you're talking way too fast. My freaking Latina, Puerto Rican from the Bronx accent, like it just drives me crazy. I'm just telling you the truth, darling. Your accent was cute, and your English was just fine. You spoke just fine, and it was very clear. I've had people come on this podcast, Charlie, where it takes me such a long time to respond to them because I'm processing the information. Like their accents are so strong that I was not getting what they were saying at all. And I had to, it took me time for my brain to process everything that they said to me. You're not one of those people. I understood every word you said with no issue whatsoever. So I think it's really just you. And listen, we all go through that. I don't like to speak Spanish because I'm always concerned about what my accent sounds like when I speak Spanish. Like I don't want to speak Spanish and sound too American. So I seldom speak Spanish. But that's my own, my own insecurity. Just the way you have your own insecurity with English. But your English is just fine. I found nothing wrong with your accent whatsoever. I think your accent is absolutely cute and you're 100% understandable. Every word that you said was very clear and concise. I had no problem understanding you, and I'm pretty sure everyone else on the podcast also had no problem understanding you. A moment of silence. I'm trying to decide now what it is that I want to do. So I decided, guys, right, that I'm going to make a bathing suit. I'm going to crochet one that I'm going to wear for you guys on stream at the beach. And I think I'm going to start this project tomorrow. It's going to be a pineapple stitch bathing suit. And I think I'm going to start it tomorrow. So I'm going to start making the cups. I'll start with that, and then I'll start designing the rest of it. Charlie says, it looks like I mind my accent a lot, but I don't have like experiences speaking it, so it's like a struggle to get the words right. Oh, that's understandable. That's absolutely understandable. Like I had that issue when I took French in high school, and then when I took it again, I took French again like a couple of years later. Like I think when I was like 35, I took it over, and yeah, I pretty much had those same issues. If you're not speaking to someone who on a regular basis who knows the language fluently, you're gonna run into those issues. And there's nothing wrong with that. The insecurity really comes within us, honestly. It's us feeling the insecurity about it. And nobody else, honestly. I think most people will not even care. Like whereas we're feeling insecure about it, the majority of people would not care whatsoever about our accents being so different. Hi. Hi, are you joining the stream because you were watching the podcast? Or are you joining the stream just because you saw me and you want to say hello? You speak English? Do you talk English? Hello, do you speak English? What are you, Spanish, Indian? What are you? I'm not too sure. Oh, okay. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. I think I'm gonna start enforcing the use the Discord box for now on, so that we avoid people randomly joining the stream and never giving some input on the discussions that we're having. If you're gonna join this box, I expect of you to have something to say. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We have a podcast. We are a community that has a discussion about a topic. We talk about spiritual things, we talk about political things, we talk about lots of different things on this podcast. And it will be very well appreciated if whoever comes into this box has something to say. Give some input. Do not just come in this box just to like stare at me, because you literally could just stare at me by watching the podcast. Hi, thank you for joining my stream. That's always weird for me. So yeah, if you guys want to join the box here, I guess just make the request to join the box if you have something to share. But I think for now on, we're going to be reinforcing coming through the Discord server. I think we're going to just have to do it that way so that we don't have random people just joining the box to wave hello. Charlie says, I have TikTok, and occasionally there's someone being like, you accent sucks. They say that to you? Speak your own language, and I mostly just laugh, but also like it's rude. Oh my goodness, Charlie, who says that to you? I'll go and I'll give them a karate chop. Ha-cha-cha! They better not mess with my Charlie. They better get out here messing with my Charlie. No, don't pay a mind to them, baby. Like sometimes, listen, there's a lot of people who troll, and some people like, this is just how they get off. So never pay any mind to them when they say something stupid like that. It's so easy for people on the internet just to say dumb things to people. They don't know. Like we're in a generation now where, on the internet it could be impersonal. So it's so easy for someone to say something like this. They think it's funny, but really it's just stupid. Yeah, don't pay any mind to them, darling. I'm telling you that your accent sucks. Well, your accent doesn't suck, Charlie. Their accent probably sucks. Theirs, the accent is probably the one that sucks. We all have accents, Even here in America, we have accents. My accent is not the same as someone who's in the South. And then it wouldn't be the same if you go up north. Or it wouldn't be the same if you go to the east or the west here. Everyone has different accents, depending on where it is that you grew up. Charlie says, it's fine. I give myself enough credit for speaking multiple languages at all, not to get discouraged by that. Charlie, how many languages do you speak? What languages do you speak? Do you speak them all fluently? Oh, that's so cool. I know some French a little bit. I learned some French through Duolingo, and I was actually getting pretty good at it. And then Nick was like, oh, you waste too much time doing that stupid game. You should be more productive with something else. And I was like, oh. And I took a break. I took a break from it. But I actually picked it up pretty decently. I made it I forget what level. Oh my God, I was enjoying me some Duolingo. What? Nobody could tell me nothing about nothing. I love Duolingo. Duolingo is awesome. Duolingo is awesome, guys. I 100% promote Duolingo. 100%. Charlie says, oh, I'm waiting for Charlie to give me her answer. Well, Polish and English, obviously. I'm not fluent with them. I'm okay in German and Spanish, but in Spanish, I understand way more than I can say some Russian, plus some Russian. Wow. So, Charlie, how are you learning these languages, though? Do they teach you in school? Or are you learning these languages independently, like through an app, through like Duolingo, for instance? Netflix? Oh, so do you mean like by reading the subtitles? Is that what you mean? I'm assuming it has to be the subtitles. Yeah, I watch the shows in random language and have or Polish captions. You know, that's actually a really good way to learn a language, guys. Like every time I'm watching like indie movies from other countries, I um I always put the subtitles on. Instead of listening to the dub, I always listen to the subtitles. And I've actually picked up on a couple of words by doing that. Like I watch a lot of Asian ones. Like now I know I can tell the difference between Japanese and the other ones. And I say the other ones because I don't know the difference between them yet. But I know when I hear Japanese. Like I can tell which one is Japanese. Watching the Asian flicks that are dubbed. And it's a really pretty interesting way to learn a language, honestly. That's how children learn to speak, right? Watching TV. German I learned in school though, and I have some family in Germany. Um, so in school I took French, and then I kind of learned a lot and then forgot it. Then I was independently teaching myself Italian, French, and Chinese on Duolingo and using Google Translate, but then I stopped doing that. It was something I did every day. Like I was addicted to it. And I would compete. Like Duolingo has these things called leaderboards, and I was competing on those leaderboards. Like I was always trying to win. So I would be practicing Duolingo all day, every day. I loved me my Duolingo. But now I just love streaming, so this is what I do. Charlie says I'm from Silesia, and Silesia has its own like language, and it is very similar with German, so it was easy. So in Poland, they have more than one language. Oh, Charlie. Charlie says Ormond has a vendetta against her. I don't think so. I think I don't know, it's not perfect. The thing can't really think, can it? It can't really think. I want ice cream. I'm thinking about ice cream. God, I'm thinking about going to McDonald's to get a McFlurry. Yeah, but these aren't like actual languages. So you mean they're more like a slang of a language? Because you know how like here in America you have Spanish and then you have Spanglish, right? And there's a lot of slang terminologies with the English language or in the Spanish language. There's a lot of slang terminologies. So is it similar to that? I guess I kind of understand, Charlie, because here in America, like say for instance, if you're an English speaker, right? Depending where you are, what state you're in, you'll have different like slang terminologies. They have plenty slang terminologies, plenty actually, like plenty slang terminologies, and people make up words all the time. People are making up phrases for everything, and you have to learn what these phrases mean all the time. It's like Silesian, for example, is a combination of Polish, Czech, Czech, German, and Russian. So they took these different languages and just mixed the words. Well, that's in the English language too, you know. The English language took like words from French and Spanish and Italian and Latin. So that's kind of how English works too. Guys, you know what I just recently found out? And I just couldn't believe this, that English originated in Germany. That's where it originated from. It didn't even originate from England, it originated from Germany. I'm like, what? For real? How is that possible? But that's what I found out. It originated in Germany. It's so insane to, when you trace back like the lineage of things like this, to find how language evolved and the process in which it evolved and, you know, has come to be what it is today. It's more historical because Silesia was fought for a lot and belongs to different countries. Yet German and English are very similar. I think I'm gonna start looking into the German language. I've always wanted to like speak many, many languages. When I was a child, I remember learning languages when I was like maybe around the from kindergarten to like third grade, and I picked up very easily. But then they stopped teaching, and as I got older, it just became harder and harder to retain the information. So do I. I think it's so interesting. I remember being in the third grade, asking my mother for a translator, right? Because back then they didn't have computers to do this stuff, so you had to get it from a book. And she got me my little translator, and so I would, I always loved writing, so I would write stories in English, and then I would translate them into another language. Then another thing I did, I had pen pals, right? Because this is before internet as well. I had pen pals from all over the world, and I would write them letters in English and then write it in their language. It was something I like to do. We don't do that anymore now. People hardly even talk to each other on apps. We try to communicate with each other, but we hardly do it. Charlie says, like, Esperanto is so fascinating. Esperanto. I was trying to learn it, but there's like no TV shows or music in Esperanto, so it was hard. So what is Esperanto? Where is that language from, Charlie? Duolingo has it? Oh, Charlie, you gonna have me coming over to Duolingo right now, girl. Uh-oh, we in trouble. We gonna be in trouble. Let me head over to Duolingo. I don't even remember my Duolingo account though, so that means I'm probably gonna have to look at my phone. Duolingo. Let's see. I think it's under my Hey, it says the site can't be reached. What? You better stop that nonsense and give me my Duolingo. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to log on or not. We'll see. I may have changed the password. I probably don't even remember what the password is. But I used to be guys, I would be on Duolingo like every single day. Oh my god, it was crazy how much Duolingo I would do. I think my account is called Crochet Trap Queen, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, I don't remember. Me no remember. Let's find it. I know for sure that I still have a Duolingo account because it pops up on my phone with alerts. So I'm gonna check my phone right now to see. It's a fake language? Someone made up. So what is it like? Is it like that language from Star Trek? Is it like that Star Trek language? Let's check out the Duolingo app, guys. I'm gonna log onto my phone and see what this is because I can't remember what my screen name is. I think it's Crochet Trap King, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh no, what is this thing doing? Don't just be doing stuff. Let's check it out, guys. Duolingo. My step counter says I did 6,176 steps. That's how many steps I did today. That's not a lot. You guys want to see like my fitness progress? Let me pull it up. Oh, I probably could do that on there. I can show you guys. Hold on, let me log on to that, and then I'll go back to Duolingo. Well, let me pull up Duolingo, and then I'm gonna go to my Fitbit app on my online. We'll see. Come on, Duolingo, where are you? Yeah, it's been a while since I've done Duolingo. Stop this nonsense, just give me my Duolingo. Duolingo. Hello, here it is. All right, I'm pulling up the Duolingo app. I'm going to show you guys the progress that I've been making at the gym because I've been going hard. I've been going hard. So I'm going to show you my Fitbit app. Hold on, let me just log on. Let me log on to my Fitbit right now. Fitbits. Let's see. Sign in. Ooh, oh Lord. I never remember my passwords. I never remember them. Hold on. Welcome back. Start review. Let's start reviewing the basics. Oh no, did I lose myself?
Oh, Suzu-chan, you're so cute. Oh, Suzu-chan, you're so cute.
Oh, I think my Duolingo like. Oh no, whew, I'm still there. Whew, I got really scared. All right, so I'm still here. I still have some points. Okay. All right, I'm doing good. All right, let's find out my Fitbit account and password because I don't remember that. And then I'm gonna show you guys all of the days that I've been working out the calories that I burned each day, and all the exercises that I did. As soon as my watch is dead. What kind of nonsense? What's going on with this watch battery? This thing is saying that the battery is dead. No, it's not. My battery is 97%. What are you talking about? All right. Let's see. How do I sign in though? It says here your email address. Okay, found it. Okay. Okay. All right. This should work. Now we gotta remember the password. Let me see. Around the time I got this. Okay, this should be the password, guys. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. That's not the password either. I'm trying to do it where I don't have to reset the password. I don't want to reset this password. I don't reset it. All right, so I'm gonna. Oh, I almost fall back. Ow! Gosh darn it! I hope I didn't snap my nail. I did. I'm about to cut all these nails off, guys. That's not the password. Okay. Okay. User does not exist. The password is incorrect. Oh my God, guys, I don't remember my password at all. I don't remember my password. I guess I can reset it. Wait. My phone saved the passwords to apps, right? So then I should be able to just go onto here and it should be able to show me my password, right? Let me do change password. Oh man. Nope, that's not gonna help. Oh, let's try one more. I don't know. Oh my gosh, none of these are the password. I don't know the password to my Fitbit. I don't remember it. All right, let's just do forgot password, and then send instructions. We're gonna reset it, guys. We're resetting the password. Oh my God, and we're probably gonna reset the Duolingo one too. I won't be able to show you guys unless I have to get in. So I'm about to reset the password. This sucks, having to reset my password every time. I don't understand. Like, how could I just not know? I just never know my passwords. Oh gosh. All right. So I want to show you guys my Fitbit account so you can see how dedicated I've been to working out. You can really see those results, you know. And you see the results physically, but you'll see because it tracks it. My Fitbit watch tracks everything I do. Like, there's no disputing it. It's being tracked. But I'm going to show you my Duolingo account. It's a fake language, yeah, except not really. I can explain how it works if you wanna. Yes, Charlie, definitely explain it. I'm open-minded to hearing everything you have to say. Alrighty. Okay, I'm resetting my password. Hi, Mizzo. What are you saying no, no, no about, Mizzo? What are you saying no, no about? I'm about to show off my fitness results as soon as I as soon as I can recover my password. I can't believe I really don't know my freaking password. I just like this happens to me all the time. Like
Oh,
literally.
Susie-chan, you're so cute.
All right, here's Fitbit. Reset your password. We're resetting the password right now, Mr. Fitbit. Reset the password. We're resetting the Fitbit password. My headline, Mizzo, do you want to share? Do you want to share your opinion on the matter? Mizzo's in the box now, guys. Mizzo is saying no, no, no to the topic of discussion today. Charlie says, do you prefer me typing or saying? Because I can do both, but to say it, I have to get up from my very comfy chair. It's up to you. It's up to you, Charlie. Whatever you prefer. Hi, Playboy. How are you? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Boop, boop. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Jamel, I thought you weren't my friend. Oh, not the real Jamel. Okay. All right. Then we're fine. Then we're fine. All right, I'm resetting my password, guys. And then when I reset my password, I'm going to screen mirror my screen so that you guys can see the results. You can see all the fitness that I did. Well, hello, the fake Jamel. I was about to call Jamel out. It's like, I thought you said you weren't talking to me anymore, Mr. Jamel. He said he's not going to talk to me anymore. Okay. Alrighty, guys. I reset it. Now I should be able to log in. Wait, what? I just reset the password, so this thing better work. Let's try it again, guys. We're gonna go right back to the Fitbit thingy, and we're gonna sign in with my new password. And here we go. Cross our fingers. Yay! We're in, guys. Oh. Now I'm going to show off all of my fitness training. I was trying to avoid the decision, and you do this to me. Well, Charlie, if you're comfortable, sit down and type it. I don't mind reading what you have to say. I'll read everything. Just remember, though, just keep in mind that I get easily distracted, and I might lose track, but I'll do it. Oh my God, Mizzo, it was absolutely hilarious the other day. It was absolutely hilarious. He was losing his mind on this stream. I'm just like, dude, what is going on with you? He tells us that we're the crazy ones, that everybody's crazy. He's the crazy one. We're not the crazy one. He thinks we're the crazy one. We think he's the crazy one. That's what it is. All right, guys. So let's check out my fitness. Let me hold on 1 second. I gotta figure out. I'm gonna screen mirror this right now, but I gotta do this thing. I'm gonna add it to my screen so you guys can see my Fitbit results. How do I do that? La 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 la. And Badao. Yes, it is. Alrighty. So I'm gonna drag this down where you guys will not necessarily see the. Oh no, that's too big. We can't be doing that. Then you won't be able to see me. Alrighty. They have a new Fitbit? Oh my goodness. Of course they're gonna have a new Fitbit. I just got this one. Alright guys, this is my Fitbit results. Fit, 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 fit. It tracks everything. It tracks everything. Oh, is it not even showing up? Did I not do this right? Why is this like looking weird like that? It should see. Ooh, no, we can't be doing that. Let's fix that. We gotta fix that. It can't be just looking crazy like that. Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna fix it. I don't know why I went all crazy. Badooga like that. Like just crazy. Hey, I don't understand this. So it's only going to, if I minimize it, hold on. Are you kidding me? All right, fine, whatever. If this is the way it has to work, then I'll just fix it that way. So basically, I can't make it like a full screen. Okay. Wait, like that. All right. That is annoying, guys. No. I want to make it a partial screen, but it's not doing that. Okay. So now it's a partial screen. And now I can do like this. All right. All right. Fitness results coming up. Charlie says, okay, let's allow. Woo. Alrighty, let's get to seeing what Charlie has to say here. Charlie says, okay, so anyways, there was like this dude called Ludwig, Zamenhof, that decided he was going to make up a language that is going to be everyone's second language so people from the whole world could communicate. So he made it by using already existing sounds and words from other languages because he thought it would be the easiest for people to learn if there was something they already know. So he mostly used German, Italian, English, Polish, and Russian, making the grammar extremely regular. So if you know the rule, there is no exception to this rule. And it's considered the easiest language on earth because it was like, that was like the whole point. Sadly, it didn't really work and it's not used as much as he hoped, but there's a big community of people that do speak it anyways. I just learned something new today. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Hi, Corey. Corey, have a nice day at work. I mean, you know, I know that you're going to be working, but you can still have a nice day at work. Very interesting, Charlie. He was Polish, so I'm kind of a fangirl. Oh my goodness, you're so cute. You're so adorable. You're just so adorable, I swear. All right, so let's check out the... All right, this is my Fitbit, guys. Here's my little chart, my little Fitbit workout chart here. We got the little Fitbit workout chart. And, oh, no, don't blow up. Let's see. Here it says, can you guys see? I don't know if you guys can see. Here it says today I did 6,142 steps. Now it's showing here my workouts. So this is today's workout. It shows here I did weights for 83 minutes. I burned 200 calories and my heartbeat was 107 beats on average. Let's see. August 3rd, it said 98 minutes. I burned 355 calories. August 1st, I did 105 minutes. I burned 515 calories. Oh my goodness, I burned way more calories there. I don't even remember what I did for that workout. But it said my heartbeat was an average of 126 beats per minute. So here's all of my progress, guys. I've been working out. What? Go me. Go me. Hi, Cassie. Thank you for joining my stream. Oh, thank you, Charlie. Charlie says that's some impressive exercise. Oh my goodness, guys. Like, I've been working out like dedicatedly. I mean, I get up and I'm like, it's time for the gym every single day. Every single day I've been hitting the gym. I've been loving it. So here, this Fitbit thing, it tracks everything. Like I always have it on my wrist except for when I have to charge the battery. And it's always tracking my fitness and my heart rate. And here it's just showing like when I'm working out all my average heart rates and stuff, all the steps I do throughout the day, my active like minutes that I do. I don't know what this is. This impact, this is the foot and for calories and well, here's all the statistics of everything that I haven't been tracking like my activities though. Let's see what my sleep stuff says. This tracks like my sleeping patterns, how much sleep did I get throughout the day. Tuesday, Monday. Oh, look at this. I didn't even notice that. So look, it shows here that I slept from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. But I think, I don't know if it tracks it like that if I take the watch off though. Like, does it count me sleeping if I take off the watch? I don't know that. Hi, Cassie. Casino, thank you for joining my stream. So here it shows like Monday I went from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. So that's 5 hours of sleep. Well, 4 hours and 22 minutes. And then I took a little nap. This app is ratting on me. Look, you can see how when I slept. I took a little nap. Today I slept from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. So I slept for 3 hours and 30 minutes. Sunday I slept from 2 a.m. to 11 a.m. So I slept for 7 hours and 30 minutes. How does this thing even know? How could it really know that I'm sleeping at this time? What if I'm just laying there staring up at the ceiling? Will it know the difference between me sleeping or not? Interesting. Interesting. Oh, I don't know what the star thing means. I guess the star thing means I got the right amount of sleep. This is pretty cool. I'm getting all these stats. 7 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours, 1 hour. Ooh, I didn't get that much sleep that day. I didn't get that much sleep that day, according to my watch. Interesting. I didn't even know that it did all this on the website. I always look at like the app, but really I'm more concerned about what are my activity, like my activity stats. So let's check out my activity stats. Let's see. Oh wow, here it is, guys. Look, this is from July 24th to today, and it's showing all the calories I burned on that day. It doesn't look like I'm gonna be losing weight at this pace though, right? How could I be losing weight if I'm only burning like 500 calories for a workout? Human beings like literally put in, on average, I would say we put in like consuming, we would put in over 2,000 calories a day into our body. So how are we gonna lose weight if this is what we're burning? It shows the steps over here. Oh, I thought for sure I was doing more walking than this. Oh my God, we need to step up the game. Now that I'm seeing my statistics, we gotta step this game up. What? Oh no, we gotta step up this game. This is not enough for me. Well, it says today I burned 1,607 calories, but that is not a lot because if we're putting in like 2,000 calories or more a day into our bodies, we definitely got to burn more calories than that. We can't just be sitting here only burning 1,607 calories. What's this weight thingy? Oh, it just shows how much I weigh. But this isn't really accurate because I have to log this in. I have to log in my weight, so that's not really an accurate reading. And this is pretty cool. This is the first time I went to the website. And it was just so that I can show off to you guys how much I've been working out. 10 more, load 10 more. Oh, it shows more details. But let's find out like when I started, like we'll see. Because it'll say the stuff that we did. Walk, interval, so walk, sport, weights, Fit Star, personal trainer. When's the actual? We did yoga. Holy moly, like look how many calories I burned when I did yoga. What? How is that even possible? Are you guys seeing this? According to this, on May 10th, when I did yoga, I burned 1,544 calories. You're saying that doing yoga burns more calories than lifting weights? What? Oh my God, there's no way. Hello, Aloha, how are you? How are you? Let's see, Charlie says, okay, I have to go now because it's literally 4 a.m. and I have some stuff to do in the morning. I have a great time. Aw, thank you, Charlie. I love you, darling. Thank you for coming to visit. And thank you so much for your input on the podcast today. I really appreciate you giving your opinion on the matter. Aloha. How are you, Aloha? How is it in Hawaii? I'm assuming you're in Hawaii because that's the name you have. And you said Aloha, Miss Essence. And Aloha, I know, means hello in Hawaiian. Wow, guys, like I'm looking here. I burn 1,544 calories doing yoga. So we better get back to doing some yoga then. That's insane. Look at how many calories. And it was only for working out for 44 minutes. What? Could that really be accurate? It has to be like some accuracy. Let me see if there's any other yoga thing that I did that it track. That is the most calories I see, and it's only for 45 minutes. And what is this? What is this? This is steps. Steps, duration, calories. Yep. Steps, duration, and calories. So that day is steps was 2,580. Duration was for 44 minutes, 1,544 calories. Well, it looks like we're going to be incorporating some yoga again, guys. If that's, I'm good, thank you. I'm showing off my stats now from me working out, like, and I'm trying to find out when we started, like when I started the fitness training challenge that I'm doing now. Okay, so here we have like run. So anything with run was before the pandemic. So it was before May, February. So this one's not going to count. Even though you guys clearly see that I've always lived a fitness lifestyle, like this proves it here, documents everything that I do. So you can see that I've been, pretty much sticking to fitness for, actually, I got this watch in January. I mean, in December. It was my Christmas present. So this is going to track all the way back down to December when I first got it. See, December 12th or December 30th. So it shows all the workouts that I've done from then. So you guys see clearly that I've been sticking to working out, doing my yoga and everything. So wait, I'm kind of confused. Okay, here it says yoga for 54 minutes and only 158 calories. So I don't know. There's an inconsistency there. Maybe the walking. Well, nope. It's fair to say that the workout, the weight training has been burned. When I did boot camp, I burned 454 calories. So we know that's effective. Walking seems to burn. Yeah, the walking doesn't burn as much of it. Boot camp is burning lots of calories. Yoga is moderate. Let's see. Yeah, see over here I did a boot camp. It was 552 calories. Yeah, so I'm burning the most when I do boot camp. According to this, the boot camp, I did 1,906 calories. Even my runs aren't burning that many calories. My runs are only burning, to be fair, when I'm doing a run, I'm only doing 22 minutes or 30 minutes. Let's see. So it's been since, where is it where I'm doing it like every single day? Over here it says yoga. I did 1,744. I don't know how that could be this much of a difference. Like, which kind of yoga am I doing that makes it so much more intense where I'm burning that many more calories? Hi Rashid, thank you for joining my stream. I work out every single day. I work out every single day, and I'm showing you guys my stats now. That's what I'm doing now. Like, I'm showing all my results. Since I've had my Fitbit tracker, I track my fitness all the time now. Like, I really utilize this thing absolutely because I wanted to see with my own eyes what it is that I'm doing. Like, a person can lie to themselves and say they're doing a lot when they're really not doing much. Yeah, so boot camp is burning lots of calories. The yogas are burning lots of calories. Boot camps and yogas are burning lots of calories. So it depends on, I guess, the kind of yoga I'm doing. And I'm thinking this is like my more intense yoga routine. This yoga routine was May 10th at 6:45 p.m. So that means I did this yoga here in the house. Same thing around here, 4:57. Yeah, so these yogas are being done in the house. 1,744 calories. So we're definitely going to be incorporating some yoga again because they're burning, and some boot camp classes again. Now here, definitely, I think it's like starting from June 8th. June 8th. Yeah, June 8th June 8th is when I started working out every single day. So we're seeing that I started off like here with circuit training. I did 824 calories, 442 calories, 491 calories. So I'm guessing if I keep up at this pace, I could probably burn, fat-wise, maybe I could probably burn a pound a week if I'm keeping up at this pace and not like really eating too much meat. So you can see here, I started, let's just say June was when I did it every single day, when I've been working out 5 days out of the week. And you guys can see all like the calories that I burned. June 11th, I did weight training. I did 1,215 calories. But the thing is that I'm not really documenting the kind of working out that I'm doing necessarily. My watch is automatically taking my pulse and determining how many calories I'm burning depending on how high my heart rate is. So on these days where I'm burning these crazy amount of calories, I really need to document the workout I did so that I can stick to it. Because if I can burn that many calories in one workout setting, my body's gonna be in tip top shape pretty damn soon. Which is what I want. Like I want to look good. You know, this is why I'm doing this whole fitness challenge. I want to be healthy, but I definitely also want to look good. Oh, okay. Alrighty, so I don't know, like I don't know what I did on these particular days where I burn all those kind of calories, but I'm gonna step it up. So according today, I guess okay. So today I understand why I only burned like 200 calories. Today I only did like bench pressing. I did like a lot of like arm and back exercises today. I didn't really do any squats today or anything like that. It was mostly like bench press and stuff. So I don't think that's gonna exert that much energy. So that kind of makes sense that I only burned 200 calories. But that really means that I'm gonna want to step it up instead of only doing like a targeted area. I'm probably going to do a whole body workout for now on. Well, thank you, Six Snotty. Thank you, Six Snotty. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So let's look at the month, the statistics for the month total. Oh, look at this, guys. Okay, so for the month, I've burnt, I made 173,038 steps. I walked 38 floors. I walked 63.33 miles, and I burned 55,899 calories for the month. That's a lot of calories. That's a lot of calories that I worked out, guys. That's a lot. That's for the month. Let's see what we did for this week alone. For this week alone, I did 45,370 steps, 3 floors, 16.89 miles. That's not a lot. We need to get that up. We need to get that mileage up. And the calories are 13,362 calories. Let's find out how many pounds is that many calories. Let's find out. How many calories equal 1 pound? Well, I just wanted you to give me the answer, Google. Okay, let's find out. Just give me the straight answer. I don't want to read all this stuff. Okay, we're not doing that. I want the answer. How many calories equals 1 pound? Okay, let's ask that question. How many calories equals 1 pound? How many calories? Because 3,500 calories equals 1 pound, about 0.45 kilograms of fat is estimated that you need to burn at about 3,500 calories to lose 1 pound. All right, so let's do some mathematics then. You said you have to burn 3,500 calories. So 3,500 calories, 13, let's do the math. 360, what do I? See, I don't know because, okay, then you have to consider what is you putting into your body too though. So 13,362 divided by 3,500. So technically, I burned 3.81 pounds. Technically. I'm not feeling like I lost 3 pounds though. I don't really feel like I've lost 3 pounds. So, all right. So basically the way this would work is you have to burn 3,500 calories to burn a pound of fat. But that means you have to also consider how much calories you're putting in, because the calories you put in negate the calories that you're burning. We're gonna get in shape, guys, though. We're gonna get in shape. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna get buffity buff buff buff. We are not gonna give up. We are gonna get buffity buff buff. This body is gonna be in shape. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it a night. But I am gonna be coming back tomorrow. I don't know what time though. I don't know what time. I have to, after I'm done now, I'm still gonna be doing some, I'm gonna be working on my logo. And probably I'll be doing that till like 6 in the morning before I get some sleep. So I don't know what time I'll be back tomorrow, but if you haven't already, go to my website, dominusessence.myportfolio.com. Add me across all my social media. So add my Twitter, add my Discord, add my Instagram, like add all my social media so that you can get updates as to when I'm going to come online. Like if you come onto my Discord, you will automatically get updates when I'm about to stream. Same thing with my Twitch. You'll automatically get updates when I'm about to stream. Same thing with my Twitter. You will automatically get updates when I'm about to stream. So add those social platforms so that you know when I'm about to come online. And I'll give you a heads up about what the topic of discussion is going to be. So then you know what we're getting into when we start our discussion. With that being said, I thank you so much for coming to see me, my darlings. Kisses for everyone, and have a blessed night.